What if the real superpower was already inside you? The Great Book of Melanin Research reveals 130 years of scientific studies conducted by governments around the world on you. This isn't fiction. It's real research on melanin uncovering its superconductive, photoconductive, cell-protective, and DNA shielding abilities. Yeah, they've known for over a century. Why don't you? Order now and get the exclusive Police Stop Law Package free. That's the Know Your Rights Manual, Constitutional Rights Card, Qualified Immunity Notice and Card, Police Stop Flashcards Volume 1 and 2, the Public Official Bonds Book. Learn how to hold them personally accountable. This is power in your hands, biological and legal. They studied you. Now you study them. Click the link. Get the truth. Get protected. The Great Book of Melanin Research. It's time you knew what they know.
Too many people walk through life carrying fear. Not because they've done something wrong, but because no one ever told them they have rights. When you don't know the law, even ordinary life can feel like a risk. That's why we build Know Your Rights Foundation, a place where the law becomes clear, simple, and yours. Knowledge is your shield. The law is your defense. Start learning today at KYRF.org. It only takes one moment, one wrong move, one unexpected stop. When life gets real, know what to do, know what to say. Join KYRF.org today.
Yo, can you hear me? Yo, can y'all hear me? Yo. Am I back? Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Yo. Can y'all hear me? Damn. All right, we good now? Damn, man. So this is StreamYards. You full of shit. It just cut the mic off. God damn. Good Lord, man. Well, let me see if I can name off the people again. Let me run it down one more time. Hodges, what up? Hodges, BYG, Mac, Reloaded, 614, Christopher Banks, DJ Sherm, True to 8. What up, Lester Ingram, Dwayne Hicks, what's poppin'? Hodges Cobb, got you, bro. Roger Roche, what up, bro? T-Bay Rock, Alchemical Empress, what's happening? Jasmine Lambo, as I was saying, Miss Jasmine Lambo, she been coming to the police stop law classes. So proud of you, girl. Jasmine Lambeezy. So proud of you, Jasmine. So, all right. Thank you for the mic check. Recovering nice girl. The recovering nice girl. Okay. Beginner's fitness journey. What's happening? Adwar L. Damn, what's all these initials? NDGYA94999. What's poppin'? So we got sound back. So there's a bunch of y'all in here now, so I can't run down all the names now. But appreciate you guys for showing up. Yeah, I know you been coming, Jasmine. Appreciate you, girl. Y'all better get in here. Jasmine, she came, and then she bounced. And we was like, where the hell is Jasmine? Where the hell is Jasmine? Then she got back in there. Now she been mashing. So, hey, if Jasmine can do it. Shout out to you, girl. But appreciate you guys for showing up. Dealing with the mic situation from the jump. Man, this mic damn thing. This damn microphone situation. It pisses me off, man. Damn. But we should have it going today. What up, brother Mel? All right, people. So appreciate you guys for showing up. Like I said, anybody who ordered your Great Book of Melanin Research, the hard copy, it's out of here. So you have it. Plus the 5, I gave you the deal with the 5 decks of flashcards. So that deal, I'm going to keep that deal going. No t-shirts. Not doing the t-shirts, but I am doing the 5 decks of flashcards deal. So if you order the Great Book of Melanin Research, you get the whole police stop law package for free. That's the Know Your Rights Manual, Public Official Bonds book that teach you how to go and get accountability on police officers when they violate your constitutional rights. Police officers, they have bonds or what's known as police insurance, really. They either have bonds or insurance. And so you can go claim that when they violate your constitutional rights. And that's the thing. No police officer is allowed to work without either a bond or insurance because the city can't have the liability fall back on them. So either the city will pay for the officer to have the insurance or the bond, or the police officer has to pay for it. But either way, a police officer has to have that for when they violate your constitutional rights or they mess up something in the city, if they ran into a building or something like that. So they have to have that liability. You can claim that when they violate your rights. And that's the thing. Most of you don't know that. That's the thing that's been hidden from the beginning of time. Since police officers have been in existence, they've had bonds. And you didn't know that. Bonds came around, police officers' bonds came around in 1792. You didn't know that, huh? That's when the bond game got started. So Public Official Bonds book, you get the constitutional rights card, qualified immunity card with the notice, bam, right here. And like I said, you get all 5 decks of flashcards. That's the police stop flashcards 1 and 2. Get them up here. Police stop flashcards 1 and 2, law and government flashcards 1 and 2, and the U.S. Supreme Court cases right here. So again, order the Great Book of Melanin Research, the hard copy. Go to realnagas.com and get hooked up on the whole deal. Again, given to you for free. No one is teaching you guys the law for free. Now, if you guys are taking that for granted, you're gonna be fucked up in the future. Trust me. You're going to be like, God damn, somebody was trying to teach me the law for free, how to save my ass and my family's ass for free. And I just act like, oh, everybody doing this. Everybody, I'll be able to find this anytime. Yeah, okay. You keep on marginalizing this information. We going to be out. Salam alaikum. Yo, Roger Rose, appreciate you, brother. He says, Kev, a lot of people want to buy my Rapstrology shirt. That's what's up. Send them to rapstrology.com, dog. Send them to rapstrology.com. Y'all know how it go, and everybody, you guys can help support. That's the best way to help support right there, is to go out and get that Rapstrology t-shirt. Where'd it go? Where's my Rapstrology? Bam, right there. Boom. Make sure you go out and you hook up the Rapstrology t-shirt right there. Hold on a second, guys. I have to hook up my second screen in order to show you guys some stuff. So we're gonna have a lot of videos today. Just so you know, we got a lot of videos that I have to show you, but please make sure you go to rapstrology.com and hook up one of the Rapstrology t-shirts. You can get the Rapstrology Volume 1. Oops. Or we can get Rapstrology Volume 2 that has Slick Rick, excuse me, Slick Rick, Chuck D, MC Light, Old Dirty Bastard, RZA, the RZA and Meth, and we got Redman in there as well. And in Volume 1, we got it in for the ladies as well. We got Q-Tip, Ghostface Killer, Ghostface, Biggie and Tupac, Guru, Gangstar with Prodigy. I'm doing a producers one next, coming up with all the dopest producers in hip hop. So if you know a dope producer, it got to be good. Don't be sending me no bullshit ass producers. All right. Premier to me is the greatest hip hop producer of all time. Primo. But again, this is the way you support rapstrology.com. Appreciate you guys. All right. Let me see. I still got me hook up my damn. Hook up this screen so we can get into some stories. All right. So also, everybody, if you go to patreon.com/realnagas and sign up to the highest status class levels, if you want to get out of the system, have 1 foot in the system, 1 foot out of the system, and I teach you how to contract. That's what I teach you. If you don't know how to contract in the system or in a world that has nothing but corporations, all governments are nothing but corporations, and they operate through contracts. So if you don't know how to contract, then you need to get over there and learn how to contract with the corporate government. All right, that's what they're called. That's what they are today. So they can only deal with you through contract. And when they deal with you through contract, you want to deal with them on your own terms. Period. On your own terms. You want to be the maker of the contract. All right. That's a very, very important term. You want to be the maker of the contract. So again, patreon.com/realnagas. I teach you how to get your status back by recontracting with the corporate government. You have 1 foot in the system, 1 foot out. You're able to keep all of these documents that they have that usually most people tell you when you get out of the system, you have to surrender those documents to the government in order for you to be out of the system. No, you don't have to do that, because these are documents that you had to acquire these documents under duress. You have to understand that. You acquired these documents under duress. They didn't leave you any other recourse to operate in life other than to acquire their documents. So anything that's done out of duress is null and void and contracted. So it doesn't obligate you. because you didn't know. You had no choice. So this is how I teach you how to get back your status. Also how to gain your power in contracting with the corporate U.S. government. Again, they're a Delaware corporation. You have to know that. They're a Delaware corporation. You can go look them right up on the Delaware website. So if you don't know how to contract with them, you're going to get left out. All right, people. So let's get into it. So again, that was patreon.com/realknowledge. Sure. You see it right there at the bottom. Make sure you sign up. And I will give you the paperwork for free when you can explain it at the highest level. When you sign up to the highest level, I will give you your paperwork that will free you from the system for free. All right. So need this law army. We're going to have it with you or without you. So you better jump on board. All right, people. Let's get it going. So I can order me some crab broil. Order me some crab broil. I'm on the crab broil now, y'all. I be jumping from phase to phase. Right now I'm on my crab broil. That boy, got damn that crab broil. Them crab legs with the shebang bang sauce. Oh boy, no diddy. So let's get it cracking. So first bit of news we have is Trump is trying to start a war. The Mr. No War president is starting a war with Russia. Now he was all about dissing Ukraine and you need to do this, Zelensky, you a blah, 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 do this. Now all of a sudden, he's given Ukraine permission to shoot down Russian planes. Then Pete Hegseth, the head of the new Department of War, not the Department of Defense. We're not defending no more. We on offense, right? So the Department of Defense, he called in all of the generals from around the world. Like, pull them all in. All of y'all got to come here, which usually means war strategizing. Now, it could also be that he's just flossing to try to push Putin's hand because, Putin won't let up because Putin is winning. So this is why Trump is mad. Trump led everybody to believe that he had Putin in his pocket, and no matter what, he could go just mac to Putin right off the bat, and Putin be like, yes, sir, yes, Mr. Trump, sir, yes, yes, Mr. Trump, sir, yes. No. Putin is a real killer. See, Trump is dealing with the two realest killers in modern times. Netanyahu bitch and Pootie Tang. Those are the two biggest killing motherfuckers in modern times as far as heads of state. Trump not one of them. He a fake gangster. You are a corporate CEO. You don't kill people unless you order somebody to do that in the corporation for the business. But other than that, you a fake gangster. You talk shit in the boardroom. You don't kill nobody. Them motherfuckers take people out. Straight up. Now, Netanyahu bitch don't take people out personally, but I think Pootie Tang, that motherfucker got hands. He was former KGB. This motherfucker wrestling bears and shit. So Pootie Tang is a real G. That motherfucker is a real gangster. And fake ass gangsters like Trump don't scare real gangsters. If you're a real G, you know who the fake motherfucker is. It's the nigga who doing this all the time. Motherfucker who woofing and blah, 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 blah. That's the fake nigga. That's the fake G. You better do what I say, blah, 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 blah. I'm gonna be like, if he doing that, if he talking at you, like, nigga, what time is it? I'm about to go to bed, nigga. You still talking? Because somebody like me is like, we fighting or we talking? And if we talking, we ain't fighting. What we doing? I don't want to hear another word out your mouth, nigga. This is about to be these hands. Hands on what? I don't want to hear shit else, nigga. No words. So that's what Putin and them is like. Trump not like that. And so he can't run Putin the way he thought he would be able to, or the way Putin let him think he did in the first round. See, Putin or Pootie Tang was trying to feel him out. He didn't know if Trump was really crazy. He didn't know if Trump was a gangster like that yet. He didn't know. He had to wait to see. And you know, to his credit, Trump was kind of crazy his first time around because he was dealing with all them damn Democrats trying to take him down. So he was on edge all the time. So you really didn't know what the fuck he was going to do. But since he been out of office and they tried to throw this nigga in jail and all that, he done got a little softer. He done got a little bitchier. Straight up. Way much more of a bitch than he used to be. It says, Putin is the dog of the world yet. He the old dog. I'll kill anybody in this mother. Oh, shout out to old dog. He's straight up the old dog of all the heads of state. Pootie Tang is the old dog. Now, Netanyahu bitch too, but Netanyahu bitch ain't real. He can't fight you with his hand. Like Putin, he can fight you with his, if he had to, he could take you with his hands. Netanyahu bitch can't do that. So, and Trump can't do that. So, like I said, he was filling Trump out the first round, trying to see how far gangster went, as far as gangster went. So, like when Floyd Mayweather, to me, greatest boxer of all time. Floyd Mayweather, when he gets into the ring, he can jump on people immediately if he wanted to, but then he may miss something. He may miss a flaw in his opponent's game, fight style that he can exploit later and then get caught up by that. So what Floyd usually does is he comes out, he chills out for the first 5 rounds. Go back and watch Floyd Mayweather's fights. He doesn't do anything for the first 4 to 5 rounds. What he's doing is feeling you out. He's timing you. He's picking up your timing. How you move when he shoots a punch. Boom, boom, boom. He's timing all of that. So by the 5th round, he got you. 6th round, he got you. There's nothing you can do. You can't get away from them hands. From 6th round to 12, you getting sauced up. Pop, 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 pop. Because he got you, no matter what you go. So that's kind of what Pootie Tang did with Trump. He kind of filled him out. The first administration, fill you out. This is the first 4 or 5 rounds. Let me fill you out. See how crazy your ass is. Let's see if you really got a power punch or not. You got a left hook or not. Got a right hook. Got a straight hand. You got an overhand. You got a cross. See what kind of punches you got. Then he kind of like, this nigga kind of a bitch. After he saw what Trump let the Democrats do to him, he was like, this nigga really kind of a bitch. He just run his mouth a lot and don't really do nothing. So when Trump was talking all this war would have never started if I was president. Well, maybe not, but it's going now. And now that Putin understands how much of a bitch your ass really is, you think you're going to tell him to stop? What you going to do? You ain't going to do a goddamn thing. You ain't going to do nothing. So that's how it was playing out. Now Trump kind of sees that Pootie Tang don't really fuck with him like that. Now Trump is on some own bravado. Oh, well, I have the best military in the world. We're gonna blow you up. Motherfucker. This is all a show. You're not about to do a goddamn thing. You know you're not about to, because Pootie Tang just launched a goddamn missile on Ukraine if he wanted to. He ain't done that yet. But he could if he wanted to. Malik Catching, appreciate you. Thank you for the cash app. It says for together apart, together apart. Hey guys. Man. Transformers is funny. So this is where you are right now. So Trump now, he wants to try to flex. He wants to show Pootie Tang that he's not really a bitch. So now this is one of these, I'm gonna show you. Oh, you think I'm playing, huh? All right. Well, even though he hates Zelensky, he got to show Pootie Tang he ain't no bitch. So go ahead, Zelensky, blow him up if you want to. I don't give a shit. Like, all right, motherfucker. Keep fucking around, bitch. That's what Pootie Tang like. Keep fucking around, nigga. I ain't even bought out the big guns yet, nigga. I ain't even got to we only on the first 3 vaults of weapons, nigga. You ain't got, nigga, we got 1,000 vaults, nigga. We ain't even got to the back yet. What the fuck is wrong with you? So, Trump's trying to gangster off. And it ain't working. Says Pootie found out that Trump was talking loud and saying nothing. Yep. I'm going to tell you right now, don't ever do that. When a real motherfucker, I tell you, a real G is the quiet nigga in the room. The real gangster If it's a whole bunch of motherfuckers in the room going off, talking bravado, fuck this, blah, 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 doing all this and that, the real G is the one who not saying nothing. Because what he's doing is he's sizing everybody up. He's trying to figure out how to kill everybody in 1 to 2 moves. When you wolfing, he's figuring out how to try to kill you in 1 to 2 moves. About to rip this nigga's throat out. About to Patrick Swayze this bitch. Roadhouse, bitch. That's what a real gangster's trying to. He figuring out, nigga, as soon as this nigga stop wolfing this, stop talking. You dead, bitch. So that's Trump. He's a Gemini. Geminis are talkers. They're a sign of communication. So he's about running his mouth all the time. Now, will Geminis get gangster? Yeah, because they're also aggressive signs. So there's definitely been some aggressive Geminis for sure. The homie Zoe, that nigga won. Don't fuck with Zoe. Zoe fucking beat your ass. But Zoe got a lot of Taurus in him too. Let me say that. Zoe actually has a lot of Taurus. I think the real killer in Zoe is the Tauruses in his chart. But Geminis are gangster. You got Allen Iverson, Gemini. Carmelo Anthony, Gemini. Don't fuck with them two niggas. They'll beat your ass. See? But Trump, not like that. He didn't grow up around, he didn't grow up fighting and all the rest of that. He don't have that in him. He grew up watching it, wanting to do that. That's why he loves sports so much, because it's something that he wanted to do that he couldn't do. His parents never let him do that shit. So he really admires fighters and motherfuckers who can really whoop ass, because that's what he want to do. But he can't do it. See? So that's where we at right now. And Putin know that shit. Putin is the quiet gangster over in the corner, like, as soon as you shut your bitch ass up, man, I'm about to rip your face off. Keep talking. Go ahead, keep talking. Nigga, you got about another 25 seconds, nigga. You got another 25 seconds of woofing. And that's a wrap. So anyone remember The Simpsons? Had a mob fight between the Italians and the Yakuza, and the quiet ones started doing damage. No, I didn't see that. But I'm definitely going to go see that now. Since you said that, I'm definitely going to go watch that later. Oh, that's funny. I'm telling you, the quiet ones, the real. What's the saying? Real gangsters, real killers move in silence. That's some real shit. So we'll see if he's just trying to floss or not. But Putin ain't budge. Fuck you, bitch. Now what? Now what? What you gonna do? So moving along, TikTok. Something that I'm glad I'm not on. We need to be on there as far as Know Your Rights Foundation, no. But TikTok is forced to sell to a group of Kazarian Zionists. Goddamn. What is it? Ellison, the Ellison family? Oracle, the people who own Oracle. So it's the dad, Larry Ellison, and his son, really. It's really his son. They say it's the dad, but it's really his son. The son, just like George Soros. The sons of these evil people are living off the names of their fathers. Except for Netanyahu's son. This nigga over in Miami, he just a little fuck nigga. Just tapping chicks and living the good life while his dad over killing babies in Gaza. Ain't that fucked up? But so TikTok had to sell. Remember, TikTok had to sell because they were showing the main reason, the real reason they wanted to sell. Well, let's give the fake reason. Fake reason is because they said China had access to all your data and they didn't want China having access to all your data, blah, blah, blah. Right? Bullshit. Every goddamn app on your phone has access to your data. Why the fuck is China any different? You full of shit. So that wasn't it. It was really because the youth kept showing the bad videos over in Gaza about the kids and starving and being blown up and missing limbs and all the rest of that. And they couldn't hide it. Not only was the kids doing it, it was the IDF, their own people, was doing that. See? Guilty consciences. See? That was some bullshit. That was the guilty conscience acting like they were, they were proud of it, but they weren't. That was the guilty conscience trying to show the world, please subdue me. Please get this under control because I don't want to be doing this. Because, at the end of the day, most people, not everybody, but most people, you don't have the killer soul. This one, I just want to kill baby. Like, no, most people, it would disgust you to try to even think about hurting a baby. Most people. The Kazarians, though, the new Kazarians, let me say the new Kazarians. There's some Kazarians over here in America, but they are really on a different plane. They have this doctrine of, we believe we're the chosen people, so we can do what the fuck we want because we're the chosen people. And they also have this thing of no morality. See, in the Talmud, they believe that doing evil is good. Evil is good. So you thought if you seen the Vampire in Brooklyn, evil is good, and you get you a piece of evil ass, that's even better. So shout out to Eddie. But that's the Talmud. In the Talmud, they believe that if they do a lot of evil, if they use up the evil in the world, that will bring about the Messiah. That's what they think. So doing bad is doing good. And this is from that Sabbatai, the Sabbatai V cult, the Jacob Frank cult, that, you know, all that shit that devolved into that shit. So they bought TikTok because too many people, their own people, was spilling the beans, and they were like, "Oh shit, we can't have this. We gotta buy up TikTok." Now that's crazy to be able to buy up TikTok, one of the top apps, if not the top app in the world. You forced it to sell to you. How much power do these bitch ass niggas gotta have that they forced China to sell that bitch? That's crazy. And now they have it. Now it's gonna be a piece of shit though, because they think they have the new algorithm that's gonna suppress all the Kazarian hate speech. But everybody just gonna move to another app. You still got Telegram. You can still you can still break all that shit off. So Telegram, still got Rumble. You still got Twitter, or whatever you call it now, X, whatever. Elon ain't gonna ever sell that shit. Elon is not about the censorship of speech. So we still have some avenues out there, and this, all they're going to do is make those platforms even bigger by trying to shut down TikTok. I mean, freedom will not be suppressed. It won't. Like, you're free. That's freedom always wins in the end. People who always try to suppress other people, they lose in the end because your spirit yearns to be free. Period. Your spirit did not come here to be subdued and locked up and enslaved. You are a God being. Being enslaved is antithetical to who you are in the universe. You are a creator, and you're supposed to be out here creating at will without messing up anybody else, without doing damage to anybody else. But as long as you don't do any damage to anyone else, you can create as your heart desires, or as your heart desires. So TikTok is dead right now. You're not going to be able to. First of all, TikTok was a big major censorship platform anyway. Let's just say that. They were already just shutting people's accounts down for talking about the government and stuff. But now, no Kazarians on TikTok. So, and then they've also taken over CBS, like I said. Talked about that last week. They went in and bought CBS. Or what they really did was, what is it? Redstone, They're the ones who own CBS. Then they hired the Zionist Kazarian woman named Barry Weiss to be the head of their content moderation. So that means no more talking about Israel. No more showing, no more saying genocide on any CBS stations or affiliates. None of that shit. That shit is shut down immediately. So they're on a full court press right now. They're on a full court press. Because then they're also in talks to buy CNN. They're also in talks to buy CNN. So these motherfuckers, they see that they're losing the narrative. They're like, fuck. We losing it, guys. What do we do? We got to do something. And there's this dude named, I forgot his first name, but it's something Shillman. He was the biggest donor to Turning Point, with Charlie Kirk's organization. He was the biggest donor. Now, he did a speech in Kazarian, where he was breaking down, or I don't know if it was Kazarian, but it was somewhere. It was a Zionist event or something like that. So he on the podium, he kept talking about what his power was. How does he fight back? How does he use his weapons of mass destruction? And he said, my weapon is this pen. It's this pen. I write checks. I sign my name every. What do you say? Something about I use my weapon every month or every year or something like that. I sign my name to these checks and these go out to fight. This is my weapon. Now remember on the movie I showed you guys where homeboy. Oh shit! I just said that. Where the Kazars, it was the House of Rothschild, and that got me banned. Let me see if I can just show that one part. Now remember in the House of Rothschild where the dude said Jews have been persecuted and blah 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 blah. So then he looked at his kids and said, so work and strive for money, because money is he said, money is power. Money is the only weapon that the Jew has to defend himself with. Remember he said that? Let me see if I can show. Please don't get me. Let me see. Come on, YouTube. Let me see. Let me see if I can show that one little part. Don't get me, YouTube, bitches. Hold up. Let's see. House of Rothschild. There it is. Okay.
Remember this.
Okay, let me see. It's right on the part, too. Let me see. Uh-oh. The video's not playing. All right, here we go.
Not as bad as having to pay away 20,000.
Okay, here we go. Just this quick little scene. Please don't be bullshitting. So here we go. Let me see if I can show this. Not gonna show the whole thing. God damn it. Hold up. They might shut my shit down. I'm sorry. I can't do it. I can't do it. I want to do it, but they're gonna shut this down. They're gonna take this live stream off if I do this, because this may be Disney who owns this. But let me see if you guys can hear this. Let me see if you guys can hear it, if I can put it. So
Waylaid by the tax agents outside the city. What? They heard he was bringing the money to Jew Street. They might have killed him, but he got away. He got away? With the money? No, they got it, Mr. Rothschild. They got the money. All of it? Yes, all of it. And the hell they got them? The hell they got them? 10,000 golden. Our money that we worked for. Why doesn't the Almighty strike them dead?
Don't get excited, it's bad for you.
Now listen, you are young. Your life's before you. You got to fight. Fight for yourselves. Fight for our people. Mama, to cheat the tax collector before my own children. Do you think I want to do that? I live honestly. I trade honestly. I want to be honest with them, but they won't let us. We are Jews, taxed to death, forbidden to learn a trade, forbidden to own land. They keep us in chains. They send men here to rob us. So work and strive for money. Money is power. Money is the only weapon that the Jew has to defend himself with.
did you hear it? Work and strive for money. But I didn't play the second part. Let me play the second part of the plan. First of all, can you guys hear that? Did you guys hear that? You heard it? Okay, great. All right, so let me play the second part of where he tells the kids to go out and start the banking.
All of you. Same here, Papa. All of us.
My sons, when I go, I leave you in your mama's care. She is wise, far wiser than I, and good. Do always as she said, and you will grow rich. Listen,
Listen to this.
much money is lost through sending gold by coach from one country to another.
In times of war, disease by the enemy. In times of peace by thieves. You are 5 brothers. I want you each to start a banking business in a different country. One to go and open a house in Paris, one in Vienna, one in London. Choose the most important centers. So, when money is to be sent from here to London, let us say, you won't have to risk life and gold. And here in Frankfurt, we'll just send a letter to Nathan in London saying, pay so-and-so. And that will be offset by loans from London to Frankfurt. Understand? Yes. In your day, there will be many wars in Europe. And nations that have money to transport will come to the Rothschilds because it will be safe.
I think it wasn't talking more the doctor.
I'm giving advice to our sons, Mama, that the doctor cannot give.
Listen to this.
Remember, unity is strength. All your lives you must stand by one another. No one brother must be allowed to fail while another brother succeeds. Now, I am banking Jose.
Did y'all hear that? No one brother must be allowed to fail while another succeeds. Listen to their philosophy. This is their inner working philosophy that all of them have.
This may cover Europe, but another brother succeeds. Now, I am banking Jose's may cover Europe, but you will be one firm, one family. The Rothschilds who work always together. That will be your power. And when that power comes, remember the ghetto.
Remember the ghetto. Remember the ghetto. So now you see. Goddamn. Work and strive for money. So now you see what they weapon now. That dude Shillman, like I said, Shillman, I forgot his name, but he was the biggest donor to Turning Point USA. And he pulled his money, actually, at the end when he saw Charlie Kirk turning from, from the Kazars. He saw him moving away from the Kazars. That's when he pulled his money. Told him to take his name off the building and shit on campus, on the Turning Point campus. So they're losing the narrative and they got to buy up every goddamn thing as far as mainstream media. But the information, the conversation is moving away from mainstream media. They're thinking old school. That's old school. I mean, TikTok is a newer thing, but everyone can make, somebody can just copy the algorithm and make another TikTok. Now, it's fucked up that TikTok is now controlled by the Kazars, but it's too late. Everyone knows that y'all pieces of shit. The government, not the people. And then the people who do support the government, they're also pieces of shit. But for the most part, they're talking about the government. So since everyone knows that, there's no turning back from the narrative. It's done. it's done. The narrative is over. You guys are evil devils. You are the evil motherfuckers of the world now. You have effectively turned yourselves into the Nazis of the 20th century or the 21st century. So, congratulations. So moving along, also, again, with them on the censorship side of the game, Mark Rubio is he put out a statement that says anyone who criticizes the Kazarians or who is deemed to be anti-Semitic or who's putting out hate speech against the Kazars, you're gonna have your passport revoked. What? What kind of fuckery is going on right now? You're gonna revoke Americans' passports for talking shit about another country that we don't have a treaty with. Huh. That's not in NATO. Huh. Okay. Okay, so man, Trump right now, boy, he's doing a whole lot of good stuff for America, but for as far as the Kazarians, he is Ving Rhames from Pulp Fiction. Now, if you remember that movie, that one scene, I have not watched Pulp Fiction again because of that shit. I don't watch that movie ever. Don't watch that movie because of that damn shit right there. But anybody who remember Pulp Fiction, you remember how they was doing Ving Rhames down in the basement of the store. That's what the Kazarians is doing to Trump. Yeah, bro, Mel. Yep. That's why I ain't never watched that movie again. You goddamn right. Ill like a motherfucker. But what do you call it when he's supposed to be America first? America, make America great again. But he gonna take your goddamn passport away if you say something bad about Kazarian, new Kazarian. That's crazy. Yeah, is it ragdolling him? Yeah. He says they been took mine's took your passport. I'm gonna tally shit regardless, or I'm gonna talky shit regardless. Okay. Little Bow Wow Rubio. He called the nigga Little Bow Wow. He says, need any more clues that we're under siege like Steven Seagal? No, we don't need any more clues. It's crazy, dude. Your passport? Oh, man. They tripping. Then in more bitch Kazarian news, Netanyahu bitch, he says that the Jews in Israel right now, the Jews that are in Israel, the Jews that are in Israel right now are the descendants of the Jews in the Bible. What? Wait a minute. I thought that was... Wait a minute. You ain't got no melanin. The Jews in the Bible, they was melanated. They was of Afrocentric descent. Bruh. What? You are from Poland. Y'all know that nigga's like, his real name is like Polish and shit. That nigga grew up in Poland or some shit. So look at this bullshit. Let me... Netanyahu lost his goddamn mind. Hold on. Hold on 1 sec. There it is. So check this out. All right, here we go. So check this out. Netanyahu bitch.
Let's play the Netanyahu video. Netanyahu talking about Jews defending something here with Ganesh D'Souza.
In a recent exchange between Tucker Carlson and Senator Ted Cruz, Tucker Carlson said, are you saying that the Jews in Israel under Netanyahu are the descendants of the ancient Israelites who are described in the Bible?
Of course. There's no question about it. The Jews spread from this land to various parts of Europe, the Middle East, and elsewhere. But we never forgot this land. Next year in Jerusalem. My big-grandfather came here in the 19th century. Most of the Palestinians who are alive today came after him. So that's what our history has been. On the one hand, regaining our ancient ancestral homeland, on the other, developing the states that becomes a juggernaut of technology and development. We're Silicon Valley of the Middle East, a democratic society in the face of enormous attacks of countries that want to annihilate us every day. Who's Tucker Carlson defending? These are people who chant death to America. They're after you. They want to destroy Western civilization. They want to destroy everything that America stands for. They say Israel is a small state. The big state is America. The only place where Christians are safe in the Middle East is in Israel. Not tolerated. Welcome. They participate in our society. We take care of the holy places, which are destroyed everywhere else. Churches blown up throughout the Middle East. So if Tucker Carlson is asking that, then he has no idea, not of Jewish history, but of history. Who are these so-called defenders of MAGA defending? They're defending the worst enemies on the planet against America. They're not mad. People who speak of MAGA, they love America, and they love America's values, and they don't identify with the worst enemies that America is facing today in the world. President Donald J. Trump, the greatest friend that Israel has ever had. He understands that we're fighting a common enemy. Iran wants to destroy you. You stand in their way. I'm very proud of the fact that Israel is the front line of this battle of civilization against barbarism and threatens all free societies.
The Dragon's Prophecy.
It's just, I don't know, man. It's just so wild, the levels of lies and propaganda.
So you guys getting an echo? I just got a message that there's an echo. Let me... Is that better? Is that a little better? Says terrible echo. See, you couldn't, you guys couldn't hear it? Hold on. Let me see.
Can I just comment? It looks like, I think he gets cold sores and he's got a Band-Aid in the middle. But
is that true?
It looks like it. I mean, you can pull back.
Tucker Carlson and Senator Ted Cruz. Tucker Carlson said, are you saying that the Jews in Israel under Netanyahu are the descendants of the ancient Israelites who are described in the Bible?
Of course, there's no question about it. The Jews spread from this land to various parts of Europe, to the Middle East and elsewhere. But we never forgot this land. We said next year in Jerusalem, next year in Jerusalem. My great-grandfather came here in the 19th century. Most of the Palestinians who are alive today came after him. So that's what our history has been. On the one hand, regaining our ancient ancestral homeland, on the other, developing a state that becomes a juggernaut of technology and development. We're Silicon Valley in the Middle East, a democratic society in the face of enormous attacks of countries that want to annihilate us every day. Who is Tucker Carlson defending here? These are people who chant death to America. They're after you. They want to destroy Western civilization. They want to destroy everything that America stands for. They say Israel is a small Satan. The big Satan is America. The only place where Christians are safe in the Middle East is in Israel. Not tolerated, welcomed. They participate in our society. We take care of the holy places, which are destroyed everywhere else. Churches blown up throughout the Middle East. So if Tucker Carlson is asking me that, and he has no idea, not of Jewish history, but of history, who are these so-called defenders of MAGA defending? They're defending the worst enemies on the planet against America. They're not MAGA. The people who speak of MAGA, they love America, and they love America's values, and they don't identify with the worst enemies that America is facing today in the world. President Donald J. Trump, the greatest friend that Israel has ever had. He understands that we're fighting a common enemy. Iran wants to destroy you. We stand in their way.
Iran don't give a goddamn shit about the American people. They want you out of their goddamn land. Get the fuck out of my land, out of my house. He's so full of shit. So now you see, we don't need to play any more of this bullshit. He said, of course, we're the people from the Bible. What? Wait a minute. What, nigga? Of course, you the people from the Bible? What the fuck are you talking about? You non-melanated motherfucker. The people in the Bible are melanated, Afrocentric people. What are you talking about? Kyrie Irving looking people. But no. And again, this is what they do to justify them taking out Palestine, that they were there before. Leah, appreciate you. Thank you for the CashApp. What you got on there? Are those tacos or is that some crab legs? Or some shrimp? What is that? What you got on there? Is that some shrimp? Appreciate you, girl. You said wicked ass civilization? Yes. But Netanyahu bitch is the worst because he has to say he's dragging the whole team, he's dragging all the Kazars down with him because if he leaves office, they're gonna throw him in jail. So he can't leave until he figures if I win this thing, then they won't throw me in jail. If I win, if I take Palestine, that'll be such a good victory that they can't throw me in jail. That's where he is with it. He don't give a shit about nothing but not going to jail. Because he should have been voted out of office already. Like a year and a half ago. He should have been voted out of office. But he gets to stay in there because he's at war. And he knows as long as I'm at war, they can't stop me. They can't pull me out of office. So that's where he is with it. What do you say? He look like Andy Rooney. Wait a minute. No, what'd you say? A lie. Don't care who tell it. Yep. So that's Netanyahu, bitch. They're the first. They're the real Kazars, everybody. I mean, excuse me. They're the real Kazars, but they say they're the real Jews. Not you, not us, not the melanated people who've been dispersed throughout the world. No, and that's the reason. Again, remember they won't let you get DNA tests. Excuse me. You can't get a DNA test in Kazarian, in New Kazarian, unless it's court ordered. But you are the Jews. You're the Jews of the Bible, the descendants of the Bible. So sure of it that you can't do no DNA test. No, what are you doing? I know we are. We don't need to test it. I know we are. When you know, you know. You know? Like, wait a minute. When you know, you know. You know? I just know. So don't you know? Come on, man. Can we know? Like, no. No. Motherfucker. You are not that person. You full of shit. Because that alone should make people suspicious. Yep. That they won't let you get DNA tests unless it's court ordered. That's insane. So, Netanyahu, bitch, as we know, full of shit. Just like, you know, nobody's believing this bullshit. Just like nobody believes that the Tyler kid killed Charlie Kirk. Nobody believe that shit. There's so much holes in that damn story. That dude would never get convicted. If he went to jail now, he would never be convicted. Ever. It just wouldn't happen. There's too many holes in the story. First of all, he hasn't admitted it. Then all you're gonna say, we got this bullshit text, this chat GPT put together text that where he admits it, supposedly, allegedly admits it, that he did the damage, he did the killing. While he's on the run, then while he's on the run, this nigga stopped at the goddamn wasn't McDonald's, it was like Wendy's or some shit. This nigga stopped to get a burger. After he killed the nigga, he stopped at a goddamn restaurant to get a burger in different clothes. This nigga had a red shirt on when he went to the goddamn to the restaurant. Wait a minute, nigga. What? You got time to go get a Big Mac, nigga? Hey, nigga, that killing made, whoo, nigga, goddamn. That shit made me hungry to the motherfucker. Goddamn. I know I'm on the run. Can I get a number one with a large fry? Yeah. Number one. Like, nigga trying to hide down and duck behind the window and shit while he get his order. Yo, Brandon Terry, appreciate you. Thank you for the cash app. This nigga ducking while he wait for his order and shit, trying to hide from police in the Wendy's. He says, modern day Lee Harvey Oswald. Yep, a patsy. Jack Ruby. Now, the reason somebody asked me, why are we talking about Charlie Kirk? Because Charlie Kirk has to do with you. That's why we talking about Charlie Kirk. It ain't about Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk is he's a vessel. He's just a vehicle for Kazarian world rule. They're trying to take over the world. Do you understand this Kazarian supremacy going on right now? Y'all be worried about white supremacy. That ain't it. You know who made you think white supremacy was the biggest thing in the world? The Kazarians. You gotta start diving into their bullshit. This is what they've been doing. They've been trying to sow strife and distress and dissent in America because that keeps you from looking at them. The real motherfuckers who fucking shit up and controlling America. So if I can make men fight women, if I can make blacks fight whites, if I can make young fight old, if I can make smart fight stupid, or believe that those things exist, if I can create distress and strife between those, you ain't never gonna look at me. Y'all too busy yelling at each other. And that's what the Kazarians have been doing the whole time. Because right now, they're the ones who are putting up the anti-white supremacy thing right now. How Caucasian men can't be in anything, can do shit right now for nothing, no reason. They can't be picked up. That's Kazarians who are pushing that shit behind the scenes. And Charlie Kirk got wind of that shit. And that's really that's one of the main reasons why he was turning, because he found out that the Kazarians were the ones funding the anti-white movement in America. He was like, oh, fuck this. He's like, wait a minute. Y'all the ones funding this shit? That's bullshit. So some stuff came out about what went down at the thing there. So there was a report. A report emerges in September, right after the shooting, claiming that the NSA detected signals from 12 Israeli registered cell phones at the scene of conservative activist Charlie Kirk's assassination at Utah University. 12 unregistered Kazarian cell phones. Huh? The hell's going on here? Really? They said they didn't belong to Israeli students. There weren't any Israeli students registered at Utah University. that had cell phones from Israel that day. So then it says, this is the story. The claim was initially shared by independent journalist, the Village Lady, on social media and later reported by outlets such as National File, stating that the intelligence was passed from the NSA to federal law enforcement and then to the White House. According to her post, administration sources were reportedly really freaked out by the findings. However, these claims have not been verified by official sources. But the insiders was like, yo, we detect at the insiders at the NSA was like, nigga, we found 12 cell phones at that bitch. Israeli cell phones. Kazarians just keep. Goddamn. See, again, now this is them when you have something at the end of its life or it's at its death point, it fights for survival like a motherfucker. I mean, it scratches and claws before it's going down. It's Nino Brown. It's taking everybody, right? So this is the Kazarians right now. They never thought they would see their demise, the road to their demise. This is what they see right now. They can see that the whole world hates them. You can't come back from that shit. You can't bring back to life 500,000 people that you just killed, innocent people you killed. You can't do that. So, and then they think we can control it. Those videos and pictures are going to be shared for decades. You're done. And they know that. So they're trying to figure out how to regain control of the narrative. They thought Charlie Kirk was the motherfucker to do it, but he started flipping on them. Charlie Kirk was groomed to do this. Don't you know this? They knew they were losing it with the youth. The Kazarians knew they were losing the youth. 24%, only 24% of the youth in America fuck with the Kazarians. That's it. They saw that and they were like, oh shit, how do we get them back? Oh, Charlie Kirk, boom. So they engineer a young dude that they bring up that's under their rule that can bring these young people in and steer them towards the Judeo-Christian bullshit, right? Which everybody knows that's bullshit. How are you Judeo-Christian when you don't believe that Jesus is the Messiah? What the fuck is the Jesus? What is that? Where's the Judeo-Christian bullshit at? You gave that nigga up. If you believe the story, you gave that nigga up. So what the hell are you talking about? So to add to the story of the Kazars, check this out. Now, I showed you a video last week of who the shooter was. Now, another video has come out this week claiming that there was another shooter. I still think the person that I said last week is the shooter. Now, I said last week that what he was holding was a cell phone gun or a remote control that was the catalyst for whatever shot him. Now, it wasn't a cell phone gun. That wasn't what it was. It was a remote. It was a remote control. Now, Stu Peters, everybody hates Stu Peters because that nigga's a racist. He is racist as fuck. Let's be real. They only believe in the Old Testament of the Bible. Yep, they don't believe Jesus is the Messiah, but Judeo-Christian, right? Okay. So check this out. Let me share this screen because watch what Stu Peters ass found. This is crazy. Now, Stu, again, in here, he has a different theory about who the trigger person is. I think the trigger person is still who I said, so we're going to go over both of those and see. Now, again, the reason we're going over this is because the Kazars are trying to take over, and you have to understand and not be caught up by it. We have to push back against that shit. They have everybody fighting in America to stop from looking at them. They're the main one. They're literally the main ones. They're the Sauron and fucking in the Lord of the Rings. They're the ones with the big ass eye, right? So, or they don't want the eye gaze to turn to them. So check this out. All right, here we go. Here it is. Watch this. So Peters be finding some shit. So check this out.
And we've been through. Got it all figured out. Stop asking questions. Let the professionals handle this. Jeffrey Epstein. Go back to your cubicle, Goy. That's basically what they're telling you. And unfortunately, most people fall for that. But I don't. And I know that most of you in the audience don't either. And that's why I have continued looking into the truth behind this Charlie Kirk assassination, because I know that the narrative of Tyler Robinson climbing up onto that rooftop and shooting Charlie Kirk in the throat with a 30-06, along with everything else we're told happened before, during, and after that is.
And really quick, you see how they got all of this video, right, of him jumping down? That same camera was on when he got up there. And he shot him. So where's all that footage of him climbing up to that bitch and firing the weapon, putting the weapon together, all of that? The camera that you see right now records that whole top of the building. He's only showing you this half because this is the part where he's jumping down off of. But the camera shows all of that whole area, the whole top of that roof. So if they got him running on the roof, jumping down, they got him running on the roof, climbing up the roof, getting up there, putting the gun together and shooting them. But where's that video? Huh? Where the hell is that damn video? Yeah, that's what we thought. Okay. So check this out. Stu Peters got the goods. Wrong trigger man, but he does have the goods on what actually killed him.
Completely and totally fake and gay. And we've been through all of the ways that the Tyler Robinson narrative is fake. And we've already proven that beyond a reasonable doubt. And so now I'm going to show you what actually happened, step by step. I went live last night. I went over all of this. If you haven't seen the clip yet, here it is. Tyler Robinson didn't kill Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk's Israeli security detail killed Charlie Kirk, and Charlie Kirk's assassin is caught on tape. Blake Bednar has brought us this video. We'll break it down. Take a look at this. Here it is from the wide angle. Watch.
Oh, sorry. That's the other detail. He was using Israeli security. Huh. He said Israel security is the best security you can buy. It's the greatest security around. That's what he said. So that's who his security was the Kazarians. Huh. This doesn't look suspicious at all. What are you talking about, guys? This is not suspicious. What's wrong with you guys? This is not suspicious, guys. Conceptual Elixirs. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you for the Cash App. And everybody else, you can hit the Cash App. Real Nagas, the number 9 on the Cash App. Thank you, brother. So let's see. Let's watch this, because this is crazy.
Charlie Kirk's right side of his team actually happened, step by step. I went live last night. I went over all of this. If you haven't seen the clip yet, here it is. Tyler Robinson didn't kill Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk's Israeli security detail killed Charlie Kirk, and Charlie Kirk's assassin is caught on tape. Blake Bednar has brought us this video. We'll break it down. Take a look at this. Here it is from the wide angle. Watch Charlie Kirk's right side of his t-shirt. Watch the lavalier lapel mic. Do you see it explode? Let's bring it in just a little bit closer. Watch this. Put it in a freeze frame. That is the explosion from...
Look at that. His mic exploded under his under the goddamn collar. That's crazy. His mic exploded under the collar. You can see it. You can look at the puff of smoke right there. There's no bullet or anything. There's no hole. That's the puff of smoke coming from his goddamn mic under his collar. Absolute final evidence of what took him out. Watch this though.
Charlie Kirk's lavalier lapel mic. Want to see it again? Bring it in closer. Remember when we told you that that was absolutely an exit wound? Yeah, it is. Check the trajectory of the round that was deployed from that lavalier lapel mic. That went directly from Charlie Kirk's lapel. That went directly from underneath Charlie Kirk's white t-shirt up the trajectory of the round that was deployed from that lapel mic.
You see the shirt jump under where the mic is? That's why they say, why did his shirt go up like that? That's why it went up, because that's where the mic went off. Now remember, if we go back and read who just had a big operation where they put a bunch of explosives in niggas' pagers and cell phones. Who was that? Can anybody remind me who just had a giant operation and they were bragging about it? And this motherfucking Netanyahu got on the tarmac and we put on his glasses and he was like, Yahoo, Netanyahu. Because he was trying to be like Bond, James Bond. He goes, Yahoo, Netanyahu. Like, if you don't get your whole ass out of here, You bragging about killing a bunch of people and kids. Because kids were around. There was a girl who was bringing one of the pages to her dad, and it went off and it killed the little girl. So you're bragging about that. So now, again, Kazars, huh? The Kazars are the ones who was putting explosives. All y'all hit up the Cash App. Appreciate you. So they're the ones putting explosives in the damn in electronic devices. They're the only ones doing this in the world. And you know, they're the biggest assassins of any government in the world. Because the former prime minister came out and said, "We don't assassinate people. This is a terrible accusation. We don't kill people." And then somebody went on. They showed that video, and then they went on their podcast, and then they just showed the Wikipedia list of all the people that Kazarian has assassinated. It's so, I mean, the list is. You keep scrolling. That shit just keep going. Keep reloading. They have killed so many goddamn people. They have assassinated so many people. It's crazy. So, again, Mike under the lapel. You can see it explode.
Mike, want to see it again? Bring it in closer. Remember when we told you that was absolutely an exit wound? Yeah, it is. Check the trajectory of the round that was deployed from that lavalier lapel. Want to see it?
Now, there's no denying that's the thing that killed it. That's what killed it. Now, the only other thing is who pushed the button? Who's the trigger man?
Again, bring it in closer. Remember when we told you that was absolutely an exit wound? Yeah, it is. Check the trajectory of the round that was deployed from that lavalier lapel, Mike. That went directly from Charlie Kirk's lapel. That went directly from underneath Charlie Kirk's white t-shirt up through his neck and created the exit wound that we told you was an exit wound immediately when we saw that exit wound. First, we had exploding pagers. Now we have exploding mics. Do you remember the vector analysis from John Bray? That proves that all of the activity came from the mic that Charlie Kirk was wearing. Remember the palm gun guy in the brown shirt, that shadowy looking guy with the sunglasses? Yeah, he pushes the detonator directly from underneath Charlie. It is. Check the trajectory of the round that was deployed from that lavalier lapel mic. That went directly from Charlie Kirk's lapel. That went directly from underneath Charlie Kirk's white t-shirt up through his neck and created the exit wound that we told you was an exit wound immediately when we saw that exit wound. First, we had exploding pagers. Now we have exploding mics. Do you remember the vector analysis from John Bray? That proves that all of the activity came from the mic that Charlie Kirk was wearing. Remember the palm gun guy in the brown shirt, that shadowy looking guy with the sunglasses? Yeah, he pushes the detonator.
So he's this guy right here. So this guy is one of Charlie's he's one of Charlie's bodyguards. He's one of the, I think, the Israeli bodyguards. So check this. So now this is where we differ on the trigger person. He's trying to say this gesture that he's doing on his arm is what killed him.
Clear as day. That's the assassin. That's the guy that pushes the detonator, which perfectly aligns with the explosion that pushes that projectile through Charlie's right side of his neck and out the left side, creating the exit wound.
Oh, do you see him jump over the table? Watch him jump over the table.
The left side, creating the exit wound.
So he jumped over the table. You see him grab? Watch this.
That pushes that projectile through Charlie's right side of his neck and out the left side, creating the exit wound. That might just look like the chaos that you would expect after someone was publicly executed in broad daylight in front of 3,000 people. But in no way did that trigger man, that assassin in the brown shirt with the sunglasses, act alone. We have video now from Destiny that shows the handoff of this remote detonator.
They're not grabbing the remote detonator. They're grabbing the damn mic that the explosive thing was in. They got to grab the mic. Why would you grab the detonator? You got the detonator in your hand. You got the mic. You want to grab the mic, the explosive. So they went over to Charlie. They're not checking to see if he alive or dead. They went and grabbed the mic off of him. Now watch this. Now they said he gave him the car keys to go get the car that was parked right in the hall, that in the driveway on the other side. He said that's what they were saying, that they gave him the keys to go get the car so they can get Charlie straight to the hospital. That's what they said.
We had John Cullen on the program last week, and he made a great point about ballistic acoustics being altered to hide the location of the real shooter. Well, the same can be said to distract from the fact that there was no shooter. Tyler Robinson did not kill Charlie Kirk. This guy, brown shirt guy, he's the assassin.
Oh, wait. If you want security, the Israelis know what they're doing.
There it is. There it is right there on video for the entire world to see. The truth hidden in plain sight. Just like so many of these other assassinations and terror attacks of the past.
Now, that's what, again, remember, that's who he says is the shooter. I don't agree with that. Let me see. Let's go back to this. Man, where is it? Let me see. No, hold on, guys. Where is the? Okay, here it is. So remember this guy. We're gonna go back. So he said the guy who was pulling on his sleeve, there was some type of detonator or remote control under his sleeve. Now, all he did was pull his sleeve up. I never know that a detonator you can just pull on like that and it initiates, you know, it executes an action. Now, this right here, though.
Brings it up again. He talks to someone. He gets a signal. He's going to pull out the phone again. And I'm sorry, you're going to have to see this. So it's going to be horrible. There you go. That's your sign. Go again.
Over the last 10 years. Counting or not counting gang violence.
What? You see how?
Now, y'all tell me which one, who is the trigger person? Is it this guy in the white right here, or is it the dude in the brown? I think it's the dude in the white. Look at this.
Go again.
Over the last 10 years. Counting or not counting gang violence.
What? You see how?
Bam! Look at that. I mean, goddamn. He tried to do it the first time, it didn't go off, which means the signal was probably off. When he pushed it the first time, the signal didn't register. That's what I'm thinking, because you know it's radio control. So when I'm thinking when he pushed it the first time, the signal didn't register. And then he did it again, bam. That's when they got it. Again, one more time.
The phone again, and I'm sorry, you're going to have to see this. So it's going to be horrible. There you go. That's your sign. Go again.
Over the last 10 years. Counting or not counting gang violence.
What? You see?
Bam. Now, again, I think it's this. I think it's unequivocally this. I mean, literally the exact moment you push that, you get shot in the dude. Come on. And all you're supposed to be doing is looking at a cell phone. Stop it. Now, again, he thinks it's the other guy. I don't think it's the other guy. I think it's this. I think it's homeboy. But you can see. But now you can see what actually took him out. It was the lavalier mic. What is it? The lavalier, what do you go? Lapel mic. One of them lapel mics. So that's what took his ass out. Goddamn. So now we know. We don't know. We still don't know the face of that guy though, who was holding that thing. And you know, they're all when there's an assassination, you know, there's somebody plans an assassination. There's always multiple people in the crowd that you have that could do it to throw it off. You don't just have one person. You got multiple people, multiple hit people in the crowd. You got multiple patsies in the crowd. It throws off the narrative. Misinformation. It's all about that, and there's nobody better at misinformation than the Kazarians. They're the masters of it. They've been doing it for hundreds of years, steering the whole damn world with misinformation, like the fact that they're Jews. So, He says, yeah, that synchronization was exact. See? And I'm a percussionist. Oh, see, hey, bam. There we go. We got a percussionist in on it. Hold up. What do you say, Kevin? Can you play the question that was before he was shot? On this video right here? Which video? Egyptian deity, which video were you talking about? The Stu Peters video or this video? Let me know which one you were talking about. I'll put it in there. I'll put it back. The question about the mass shooters. Wait, which one? Hold on. She says the Peters video or this before he got shot. Look at the question that was asked when he picked. Oh, that's this video. He asked him about some trans stuff. Here, we can go back. Hold on. They asked him about a trans activist. Oh. What's the name of that? Oh, here it is. I have a bunch of windows open, so sorry. So here we go.
And sorry, he talks to someone. Look at it. Then he brings it up again. He talks to someone. He gets a signal. He's going to pull out the phone again, and I'm sorry, you're going to have to see this. So it's going to be horrible. There you go. That's your sign. Go again.
Over the last 10 years, counting or not counting gang violence.
What? You see how he go again?
Over the last 10 years, counting or not counting.
It's going to be horrible. There you go. That's your sign. Phone again, and I'm sorry, you're going to have to see this. So it's going to be horrible. There you go. That's your sign. Go again.
Over the last 10 years, counting.
He says, do you know how they mastered the something over the last 10 years in America?
It's going to be horrible. There you go. That's your sign.
I can't necessarily hear the exact word. Do you know how they mastered the bid or something like that in the last 10 years in America? That's basically all I can hear. Did you say? Cued by the band leader. So yeah, there was multiple people that showed him that trick that was like coordinated the shot for the right time. And then you can see like my man right here.
Go again.
Over the last 10 years, counting or not counting gang violence.
What? You see how he?
Woo! I mean, got him. So that to me, again, so Stu Peters with this guy, they got him. To me, Stu Peters, the part about the exploding mic, but this guy with his angle of this guy under the tent, on the other side of the tent, them two put it together perfectly. Roger Rose, appreciate you, brother. He says, you the Kobe of research. Appreciate you, dog. So, bam, we got it. Shout out to Stu Peters and that guy. What is his Salamandrin? You can go watch that video of Salamandrin. Solomon or Salomon. No, not with an O. Salamandrin with Salomon. Salamandrin. Drin. So, bam. Right there, y'all. We done solved it. We done solved it already in 2 weeks. We got it. It was the Kazars. You ever see y'all ever play Clue? That was my shit. Y'all play Clue. It was Mr. P. It was Mr. Smith in the library with the candlestick. Or was Miss Marker and it was the maid and the voodoo. Clue was off the chain. So if you got one of those inquisitive minds that like to solve problems and shit like that, y'all should get Clue. Clue is off the chain. But this is the Clue. We got it. I was one that man. Clue was my game. I put together some shit, boy. Give me the clues. I'd put that shit together. I used to win that shit all the time. You know, you put all the clues and shit in the little packet, and then you come up with all your little suggestions and your guesses. And then when you feel like you got it, you open the packet to see if you was right. And then if you don't that, boop, you're out of the game. But I think I'm right on this. Stu Peters, he got the wrong shooter. He got the right mechanism, wrong shooter. Clue was off the chain. Clue was my shit. So moving along. Hold on. Hold on. Where's my story? Okay. So here's another story. Because after Charlie was taken out, who became the head of Turning Point USA? That would be his wife. The girl with all the fake ass tears you've been seeing on TV. He loved talking. But you only got one tear coming out your goddamn eye. What you doing? She like the worst actors of all time. He's up there. He's looking down on us. Like, bitch, anyone who's 2 years old know that's a fake ass crying. He's such a great man. And all of you, he loved all of you. And he was here for us. Like, bitch, you are full of shit. You ain't grieving. You are the fakest grievingest bitch I've seen in my life. Straight up. She is fake as hell on the grieving side of the game. That was fake. She even had somebody take a goddamn selfie of her crying over the goddamn casket and shit. So she can post it on. Wait a minute, what you doing, bitch? Come here. 3, 2, 1. You got it? Got a good scoop. Oh, no. Like, wait a minute. Like, did you get it? Yeah, I got it. You're a little too obvious. You ain't got no tears. You got here's some eye drops. That girl had no tears in her eyes, nothing. So it comes out though, that she already knew it was going to happen. Charlie did not know he was set up. So there you go. You're stealing my thunder. You're stealing my thunder, Nama. So check this out. They did a story on the wife. Let's check this out. Where? So this is before. So beforehand, before I do that video, let me show you. This where Charlie Kirk. Hold on. Oh man, where did it go? Okay, was this it? Oh no, that ain't it. Damn it. Come on, man. Hold on. I got it in here, guys. Trust me. It's in here. I just need to find it. Damn, man. God damn. I think I might have lost it. Hold on. There's one more second. Give me one more second. That's it. That's it. Oh, okay. Hold on. I think I know what it is. There it is. All right, got it. Sorry. So this is a story on, again, this is Stu Peters. He be getting the goods. This is a story on the wife. So check this out.
The Israeli connection to Charlie Kirk's security detail. The security detail that allowed for George Zinn and other shadowy and suspicious characters like the guy in the brown shirt to make their way into that audience on that day. Utah Valley University, the lack of gunshot residue analysis, no blood droplets, no fingerprints, no footprints, no physical evidence at all whatsoever linking Tyler Robinson to the scene that day. And that's supposed to give you fatigue. You're supposed to theorize. You're supposed to argue with each other on the internet. You're supposed to look the other direction so that ultimately you will just succumb to the truth. Disregard the inconsistencies and the absurdities and the lies that have been told to you by Kash Patel and his FBI. Tyler Robinson acted alone. He was the lone gunman. He acted on behalf of the radical left, and he killed Charlie Kirk, upset about Charlie Kirk's anti-transgenderism rhetoric. And if you have questions about exit wounds or blood splatter, and that in his final moments he saved lives, USA Andrew Gov't, the lead spokesperson for Turning Point, that Charlie Kirk possessed a frame of steel. And that in his final moments he saved lives, he saved people
the narrative was that the bullet got stopped in his body because his spine was so damn strong that, because the bullet that he was shot, allegedly shot with, is a bullet that could have killed a moose at 600 yards. A moose. Again, I'm gonna say this again. It's a bullet that can kill a moose at 600 yards. So he was only supposed to be 200 yards away. That bullet should have took his whole head off. That bullet would have taken his whole head off. But they're trying to say the bullet, his spine was so strong that the bullet went in, hit his spine, went down, and just shattered everywhere else. He had a Superman spine because the bullet actually should have went through him and killed like 2 or 3 more people that were standing behind him. That's how strong that bullet was. But it didn't go through him. Boom. So this is the narrative.
Convenience of having their wardrobe unnecessarily splattered with his blood because he possessed the Superman-esque frame of steel. Charlie Kirk was a man of steel. A lot more questions than we have answers now, 2 weeks removed from the public assassination of Turning Point USA founder Charlie Kirk, right? And after a brief period of speculation regarding who would actually take over his organization in the wake of that death, we now know that his now widow, Erica Kirk, will be Turning Point's new CEO. And boy, this woman has wasted no time at all jumping to the forefront and in front of every camera here. Since the immediate aftermath of Charlie Kirk's death, I think his body maybe had been cold for a few hours, and TPUSA, seemingly under the direction of Erica Kirk, has been sending out constant fundraising emails. Have you received them? I've received them via text messages to members, to potential supporters, anyone that will open them up. And it's hard to honestly say at this point, with the risk of sounding insensitive, that this woman isn't monetizing her husband's death. Honestly, you really can't say that, actually, because that's exactly what she's doing. She's taking up the mantle of her husband. She's leading Turning Point forward out of the storm. And now your average conservative would have you believe that this is just a great story of American resilience. This is a shining example of a trad wife stepping up to honor her husband. Well, we're not buying that, because there's a whole lot more to this story than meets the eye. And quickly, as things move, it's hard to believe that any of this has happened organically or in a vacuum, especially when we start to consider the background of both Charlie Kirk and Erica Kirk and their respective family members. Who are these people? Where did they come from? How did they so rapidly rise to prominence and political influence? Who was funding them? Who was propping them up? And when you put your emotions aside and you look at these things objectively, their backgrounds begin to give us just a couple of clues. It's weird enough that Charlie Kirk's father was a top architect on Trump Tower, but that's nothing.
Charlie Kirk's dad was a top architect at Trump Tower. All this shit started to come out. Huh. So Trump knew this nigga's dad from way back in the day.
Nothing in comparison to the information that we're about to go over regarding Charlie's wife, now widow Erica, who was closely connected to Donald Trump and other power brokers, independent and long before meeting Charlie. We've talked before about how Erica Kirk is an actress, a reality TV romance actress to be exact. And most of you probably already know that she was crowned Miss Arizona USA, a pageant that at the time was owned and operated by none other than Donald Trump.
Donald Trump. So again, there go the Don. The Don knew Charlie Kirk's dad, who worked on his hotel, was an architect for his hotel. Then he ran the pageant, the beauty pageant that she won, Charlie Kirk's wife won, as Miss Arizona. Huh. Nothing suspicious here. Nothing suspicious at all, guys.
Erica Kirk was actually invited to compete personally in these Miss USA pageants by Donald Trump himself. She was recruited by Donald Trump, exactly how Trump used to recruit girls around Palm Beach County, Florida, along with Jeffrey Epstein. She was employed by Donald Trump when she met Charlie Kirk on her pilgrimage to Israel. And that's when she entered into, or at least made the introduction into, a relationship with Charlie Kirk.
On her pilgrimage to Israel. Let's see that again.
Recruited by Donald Trump, exactly how Trump used to recruit girls around Palm Beach County, Florida, along with Jeffrey Epstein. She was employed by Donald Trump when she met Charlie Kirk on her pilgrimage to Israel. And that's when she entered into, or at least made the introduction into, a relationship with Charlie Kirk. Years before that, what was Erica Kirk doing? Well, she had founded an orphan ministry called Romanian Angels, which helped Western elites acquire Eastern European children. And there's even more to discuss when it comes to Erica's father, who is descended from a line of elite.
You hear that? So she started a clinic, an orphanage. Check this out.
Into a relationship with Charlie Kirk. Years before that, what was Erica Kirk doing? Well, she had founded an orphan ministry called Romanian Angels, which helped Western elites acquire Eastern European children.
And Eastern Europe orphan minute. Now, again, remember she was linked with the Kazarians from the jump. That orphanage was backed by the Kazarians. That orphanage was because she went out there when she was 17. She had no goddamn idea how to run a goddamn orphanage. She went out there right after she won the Miss Arizona pageant. So obviously the orphanage or whoever it was who owned that orphanage was trying to use her as publicity. You miss Arizona. We can do Miss Arizona to go out and do a bunch of publicity shots, you know, a bunch of promo, shit like that. She probably wasn't knowing what's going on. She's 17. I'm sure she didn't know what the fuck is going on. But they're using her ass, right? So check it out.
And there's even more to discuss when it comes to Erica's father, who is descended from a line of elite bankers who has connections to the DOD, and not just the Department of Defense, but to Israel. Erica Kirk's dad was involved in the launch of Raytheon Israel Ltd., a group that makes money by keeping the world in a constant state of war.
Raytheon Israel, her dad, set up Raytheon Israel. Huh? Nothing suspicious here, guys.
Just like they're doing right now in Israel. Now, cue up this video. This video right here gives you a pretty good rundown of exactly who Erica Kirk is. You can kind of see for yourself why we should be asking a whole lot more questions. Take a look.
Erica Kirk has deep connections to Jeffrey Epstein, Donald Trump, and the state of Israel. The supposed grieving wife and mother is going to be taking over Turning Point USA. So here's some facts about her that I think the public has a right to know and that nobody else is reporting on. Around 2009 to 2010, even though Erica had never modeled before or participated in a beauty pageant, she received an invitation in the mail to participate in the Miss USA beauty pageants, which were owned by Donald Trump. In 2012, she won the Miss Arizona competition. And at the same time, according to her website, she was also a casting director at the same time she was modeling for Trump. In 2006, she started a ministry when she was just 17 years old. This ministry was working with the U.S. military in Romania at the same time she claimed to be working as a casting director. The area in Romania where Erica was operating her ministry out of had a ton of locals accusing these evangelical ministries of kidnapping children and trafficking them out of the country. These children were being found in Israel, the UK, and undisclosed private islands. The locals demanded that the authorities look into this. And shocker, they never did. But her ministry was kicked out of Romania. In 2018, 2 years after Donald Trump started working with Charlie Kirk, Erica and Charlie were introduced to one another after one of their mutual friends suggested that Charlie should hire her to work for Turkey.
The mutual friend. Who do you think that was? First of all, the children came up missing out of the orphanage. They couldn't prove that it was them, but they said, get your asses out of Romania. We know it's you. We can't prove it, but get y'all asses out of here. Snatching up the kids in Romania, allegedly. Right? So then she's introduced to Charlie Kirk, Turning Point, as a job prospect by a mutual friend. Who the hell you think that mutual friend was? Huh? Goddamn.
Turning Point. So at Erica's job interview with Charlie, Erica allegedly said, "You're not going to be my boss. You're going to be my boyfriend." So they began dating. I think it's safe to assume that this mutual friend was Donald Trump because Erica was already one of his employees. So it would make sense for his team to encourage this. Beauty pageants are a well-known gateway for human trafficking. So with her being a
Wait, hold up, Roger. You said Trump be connected to all the 304 chicks. He connected all the hoes. Hey, what'd you say? He says the reason the Kazarians have been ran out of so many countries was due to their yes, that's exactly right. That's in the Talmud that they can do that to kids, and it's lawful or spiritually lawful for them. That's exactly right. Why they've been kicked out of so many goddamn countries. Goddamn. He said her sex tape, her and Trump sex tapes coming soon. Hey. You never know. I don't really think Trump messed with kids though. I really don't. I really don't think that's him. Like if I had to really break it down and really had to put my finger, I don't think that's him. I think he like 18 and up. Let me say that. I think 18 and up all day long. Remember though, Trump is a law. He don't like to break the law. He likes it. So as far as he's concerned, I'm sure 18 is probably just as good as 17 to him.
casting director, her boys, "You're going to be my boyfriend." So they began to look into this. These children were being found in Israel, the UK, and undisclosed private islands. The locals demanded that the authorities look into this. And shocker, they never did. But her ministry was kicked out of Romania. In 2018, 2 years after Donald Trump started working with Charlie Kirk, Erica and Charlie were introduced to one another after one of their mutual friends suggested that Charlie should hire her to work for Turning Point. So at Erica's job interview with Charlie, Erica allegedly said, "You're not going to be my boss. You're going to be my boyfriend."
Boom! Went in there and told them. You giving me the dick. See, she one of them aggressive ass chicks. Charlie Kirk was a bitch. He had never had no cootie before. He wasn't experienced with the cootie coo. He had no idea. That fine ass girl walked up in there and was like, "You gonna give me the D?" He was like, "Hell yeah, right now." Shit, what do you mean, right now? Right now? Like, hell yeah, shit, girl, what you talking about? That nigga Charlie Kirk had never had to tag nobody like that. Especially a girl who went up and just basically threw themselves at him. That nigga ain't never had no shit like that. You see how big that nigga head is? That motherfucker got one of them goddamn hot air balloon heads. Why nobody trying to fucking be with that shit? Like, nigga, motherfucker, you can't see in front of, you can't see the goddamn movie screen when you in the movie theater and shit. He one of them motherfuckers. Nigga, head of the game. So I'm sure nobody with that fine ever threw no pussy at him like that before. I promise you. Never threw no cootie at him. You gonna be my boyfriend. Oh shit, hell yeah, I am. I'm sure, promise you, that's exactly what he said. Oops.
So they began dating. I think it's safe to assume that this mutual friend was Donald Trump, because Erica was already one of his employees, so it would make sense for his team to encourage this. Beauty pageants are a well-known gateway for human trafficking. So with her being a casting director, her ministry working with the military in Romania and being asked to leave, along with her very strange behavior of capitalizing on the death of her husband, I think this should be of immense concern to us all. Random people do not get propped up by the mainstream media out of nowhere. That includes Charlie Kirk, whose father had deep connections to Donald Trump even before he started working with Charlie Kirk.
Yeah, just step away from your emotions on this. And when you objectively...
And there it is. Somebody threw it in here. The honey, she was the honey pot. Straight up honey pot operation. Like, what'd you say? Damn, Erica on the Epstein list. She might be. There wasn't there a South Park episode about a Romanian orphan? I don't know. I don't watch South Park as much. It says, did Superhead? That's basically what she did. She went up in there and did the Superhead on him. That nigga was hooked from that point on. So again, shout out to Stu Peters getting the scoop on that. Now the last thing I got with the Charlie Kirk shit, because this involves his wife. This is the last thing, because this is all about the this is a very high ordered assassination operation. They groomed him from when he was 17 to be an Israel promoter. That's why they came in and funded him at 18, blew up Turning Point. He was supposed to be their guy. Then 10 years in, they start losing him because they was full of shit. They was fuck people. They're not Kazars, they're fuck czars. So he started to see that and started to lose them. They were like, nigga, we built this organization for you. We paid for this shit. You didn't build nothing, nigga. You wouldn't have no money. You wouldn't have anything. You think you going out there and talking to these people without any money would have built this organization? Hell no. There's a whole bunch of people out here talking to kids. You had to have money to bring these people in, and we gave you that money. So when they started losing his ass, they was like, oh, fuck this. We can't do that. He was like, we can't do that shit. So check this out. Sorry. So hold on. Let me share this screen one last time. This is hilarious. Check this out. This is on Megyn Kelly the other day.
I wasn't even sure where to go with it. And then I want to start with it. That is where we're going to kick it off. Have both now said, we don't really care that Disney wants to put him back on the air. We're in charge of our affiliate programming and we're not airing him. So it's just gotten very interesting. And that is where we're going to kick it off in about, well, just a few minutes with Mark Halpern, who's standing by. But first I have a sort of out of left field story to bring to you. And then I want to start with it. I've been wrestling with whether to bring you this story for a few days now. I've been wrestling because I find it so vile and off and odd. I wasn't even sure where to go with it. I decided that I had to do it because the groups who did this deserve public censure. I learned when I was out in Arizona last week that 2 weeks before Charlie Kirk was assassinated, the far left website Jezebel declared that it had a mission to cast bad luck or a curse on Charlie. They wanted to hurt him in some way. They declared, quote, if the far-right misogynist with a bad haircut wants to villainize independent women, Jezebel is more than happy to be the hag of his nightmares. And they went on to the website Etsy, yes, Etsy, to, quote, cast a curse on him. Yes, this is actually a thing. Etsy, the website known for making arts and crafts on demand, will happily cast a hex through its witches, who you can hire.
First off, yes, Roger Roche, yes. And then, look at this. They hired some witches off of Etsy to cast a spell on this thing. What the hell is this? What was that movie with not the TV show Charmed, but damn, with homegirl from the Scream movies. She was in a movie where she was witches. She was like, damn, what was that movie? And they just had a sequel to that movie. But she was like a witch. She was on the evil side of the game. It was like 4 girl witches. It was it cursed? No, it wasn't cursed. What the hell was that damn movie? Craft. Thank you. Excuse me. Where you at, Calvin? The Craft. Thank you. So they went and hired some craft witches to put a spell on Charlie Kirk. Check this out.
On someone, if you ask them to. Cast a hex through its witches, who you can hire, on someone, if you ask them to.
Hold up. He said Timu witches. Hold up. Damn, Black said Timu witches. Straight up.
The Jezebel crew was delighted to discover, quote, it's not uncommon for the so-called witches on Etsy to channel their energy toward thwarting Republicans. There's even a subreddit devoted to casting nightly hexes on Trump. Jezebel decided Charlie Kirk, who they repeatedly described as far right, the founder of the right-wing conspiracy theory factory, Turning Point USA, is, quote, more irritating than most, and asked its audience if they were, quote, interested in punishing Kirk for years of regressive rhetoric with a curse, with a hex on him. After all, they told readers, he's basically a fake news vending machine. The article notably does not list the name of any particular author, but simply uses its company name as the byline. So we don't know exactly which writer or staffer at Jezebel, which has long been a disgusting publication, came up with the idea. But since they're attributing it to all of them, so will we in terms of our blame. It was, in fact, the brainchild of one writer, however, because it is written in the first person, a female. The writer explains now, is it ethical to curse a man I've never met? Probably not. But is it unethical to let him keep talking? Yes. Now comes the obligatory ass-covering paragraph in the piece, just to stave off any negative publicity for Jezebel. Quote, I want to make it clear I'm not calling on dark forces to cause him harm. I just want him to wake up every morning with an inexplicable zit. I want his podcast microphone to malfunction every time he hits record. I want his blue blazers to suddenly all be one size too small. I want one of his socks to always be sliding down his foot. I want his thumb to grow too big to tweet, to ruin his day with the collective feminist power of the Etsy coven would be my life's greatest joy. So even in her ass covering, she was asking for Charlie to be rendered less attractive, to not be able to use his microphone and silence his voice, to have...
Robert Banks, appreciate you, brother. Thank you for the cash app. He says Raytheon merged. He said for 2020, Raytheon merged with the Kazars Corp. Yep. Raphael Tech.
Discomfort foisted upon him to stop his ability to tweet or spread, not be able to use his microphone and silence his voice, to have discomfort foisted upon him to stop his ability to tweet or spread his message, and to, quote, ruin his day. Got it? That's the nice part of the Jezebel article. She tells the reader she placed her first spell on Etsy, and it was, quote, in all caps, make everyone hate him. And she wondered aloud, how long would it take to kick in? The witch servicing Jezebel on Etsy contacted the writer and asked if she would like to, quote, amplify the energetic support of the spell for an extra $50. She did it. She goes on, for the powerful hex spell, I had to provide Kirk's date of birth for accuracy. The witch informed her that she, the witch, had performed.
Now I want y'all to understand what happened. There was a hex put on this fool 2 weeks before he died. I want y'all, because it's very important.
Hex, and that it was successful. Jezebel wanted to know when they were getting results on their curse. And while their article about all of this was published on Monday, September 8th.
Wait a minute. Hold up. You're going to hire some Etsy witches to help you cook this thing?
It makes clear that the writer contracted for the curse in late August. She says she wanted it to line up with the new moon in Virgo, which this year meant August 23rd. That tracks because she points out in the piece that by August 20th.
Kobe's birthday. They put the spell on him on Kobe's birthday? What? Holy shit.
24th, she was waiting impatiently for results. The witch, they reveal, promised on August 23rd that, quote, you will see the first results within 2 to 3 weeks. This was 18 days before Charlie was killed. Not satisfied with this curse, the amped up one alone, Jezebel reached out to a, quote, third witch, Priestess Lilin. Jezebel opined, if enough people cursed a single person, would the results be stronger? Quote, when I asked her if she'd noticed more political figures being targeted these days, she said yes. The next day, Lilin sent the Jezebel writer proof of the hex she had cast, quote, a photograph in flames, the edges slowly curling inward, engulfing Charlie's ridiculous, scrunched up little face. She whispered, I imagine, writes to the Jezebel reporter, trust the unseen. Chills, writes Jezebel.
There's a main
Sunday,
reason.
August 24th passed, writes the author, and nothing. Monday, August 25th, still nothing. Tuesday, August 26th, nothing. But then she writes, she reminded herself, this is witchcraft, not Amazon. The forces operate on their own schedule. The Jezebel writer ends the piece as follows. So, did my Etsy curses work? Time will tell. The forces move in mysterious ways. And as the priestess Lilin reminded me, spell work is a collaboration between the caster, the client, and the universe itself. For now, we can only trust in the timing of the great unknown. To you, Mr. Kirk, may the rash come swiftly. 2.5 weeks after those curses were requested and cast, 2 days after Jezebel published that article, Charlie was killed by an assassin's bullet. I know what you're thinking. This is a bullshit Etsy curse. Why are we spending time on this? I'm going to get to that in a minute. Stay with me for now. After the shooting, Jezebel took down the article, quote, on the recommendation of our lawyers. They underscored that the piece was meant to be humorous, intended as satire, and that they made clear they wished Charlie, quote, no physical harm, which is not the full story now, is it? At the same time, they said of the article, quote, we stand by every word, which means they did want him cursed. They wanted everyone to hate him. They wanted it to be powerful, and they wanted Charlie, quote, punished for years of regressive rhetoric. They also made clear that taking down the article was, quote, driven by an abundance of caution for our staff. In other words, they were worried about violence against them by Charlie Kirk supporters. They also, they wrote, wished, quote, to avoid the piece being misused.
Hold on, I'm going to fast forward it to the part about the wife. There's a part in there about the wife. Hold on.
Here is Father Mike Schmidt. He was on the day Charlie died, or trying to contact the spirit world.
Oh, wait a minute.
Now, again, you may be saying to yourself, why are we talking about Etsy curses? None of this is real. Well, 2 things. First of all, Christians are opposed to casting spells or trying to contact the spirit world, not only because they believe there's only one God, but because they acknowledge the existence of the devil and evil spirits. Here is Father Mike Schmidt. He was on the day Charlie died, helping us through that as well. But he came on our show first time a couple of years ago, and here he is discussing this very subject.
The motivation behind the Ouija board is actually something where I'm trying to contact spirits.
So I got to fast forward it because there's a part in here where they talk about, so that's a while back. So she's going to talk about the
dangerous.
wife.
It's not a game. It's literally evil. Second, this is what I really want you all and the people at Jezebel and Etsy to know. Erica and Charlie Kirk heard about these curses, and that news genuinely rattled Erica in particular. She knew Christian teaching on the subject. She loved Charlie, absolutely. And she was scared when she heard of the curses Jezebel had called up. So much so that she and Charlie contacted a friend, who I believe she said was a Catholic priest, but definitely a friend, and asked him to come over and pray with them over Charlie the night before he was murdered.
Now, do y'all see that? She gets wind, apparently, she gets wind of the curse, right? She gets wind of the curse. She's Catholic, so apparently she believes in curses or whatever. She instills this fear into Charlie, says, I heard about this curse. I'm scared. Boom. We need to call my friend over to pray over you tonight. The night before he got killed. The night before he got killed. What this nigga? What did the prayer go to? The prayer go to the to the voicemail, nigga? What the hell happened? This be killing me. These Christians, y'all Christians love you, but damn, y'all niggas be on some bullshit. Y'all be out here praying for Jesus like a motherfucker. And this nigga shoot you in the face right after you say amen. This nigga, like, you prayed for this nigga that night and he gets killed the next day. Nigga, I'm out. Nigga, there's no bigger, there's no bigger advertisement against your goddamn product than that. God, you gotta help us. You gotta save us. You gotta do what you gotta do. We're here for you, God, and blah blah blah. And then the next day, this nigga face get blown off. Nigga, I'm out. Nigga, I'm cashing out my account. Nigga, can I close my account today? I want to cancel. Nigga, I'm out. Fuck that shit. Now, going back to the honeypot shit, Did she know something was about to happen the next day? That's why she motherfucking prayed with him and got him on that shit. Because again, this is all mental. Curses and shit don't work like that on you unless you allow them to work. So if somebody says, oh, I can put a root on you, I can put a curse, none of that bullshit work if you don't believe it. But if you believe in that type of stuff, that it has power over you, then it does. You are God. You create your own worlds. So if you believe something has power over you, it does. If you believe it doesn't, then it doesn't. That's just as simple as that. No one has power over you but you, unless you give it to him. So the fact that he was up here praying that night, acting like these goddamn witches, these bitches, these Etsy bitches, that had some type of power over him, he gave it to him with the acknowledgement that they had it. The acknowledgement that they had some type of energy and power to do something to you. A person that they've never met before. A person who's supposedly God is your Debo, ain't he? Wasn't God your goddamn security guard, nigga? How the hell are you scared of God, nigga? Soon as that information came to you, you should have laughed it off, nigga. Nigga, you see how I got back here, nigga? Huh? You see, this is the Debo of gods. Right here, nigga. The Debo of gods, right here. What you got on my Christianity, homie? He should have been gangster like that. So, the fact that he was all trembling and scared the night before, he gave the power. Now, I want to know, did the wife know something? Did she know that he was about to get popped? Because now she's the head of Turning Point CEO, the head CEO and chairperson and everything. She running the whole shebang. The girl with the Kazarian ties and the Trump ties. Trump honeypotted that nigga, straight up. Trump honeypotted that motherfucker straight up at the order of the Kazarians, for sure. Yo, Broderick Enoch, appreciate you, brother. Thank you for the cash app. Everybody hit that cash app. Appreciate you. Make sure you don't forget the cash app right there. Also, you know, the best way for
What
you...
if the real superpower was already inside you? The Great Book of Melanin Research reveals 130 years of scientific studies conducted by governments around the world on you. This isn't fiction. It's real research on melanin uncovering its superconductive, photoconductive, cell-protective, and DNA shielding abilities. Yeah, they've known for over a century. Why don't you? Order now and get the exclusive Police Stop Law Package free. That's the Know Your Rights Manual, Constitutional Rights Card, Qualified Immunity Notice and Card, Police Stop Flashcards Volume 1 and 2, the Public Official Bonds Book. Learn how to hold them personally accountable. This is power in your hands, biological and legal. They studied you. Now you study them. Click the link. Get the truth. Get protected. The Great Book of Melanin Research. It's time you knew what they know.
It's time you knew what they know. They know more about you than you. That's a damn shame. If I knew that somebody knew more about me than I know about myself, nigga, there's nothing you can stop me. There's nothing you can do to stop me from locking myself in the house and studying me until I figured out everything about me. There's no advantage you gonna have over me. The knowledge of me. You're not gonna have the knowledge of me as an advantage over me. Fuck that shit. So, getting Flow Rider, thank you for the cash app. Appreciate you, girl. You say you like the show. You say you like watching the show because I'm crazy. Appreciate you, though. So, moving along. RFK and Trump just changed the game for crack scenes. Again, man, RFK, man, he's the best dude in the game right now. He's the best dude in the whole administration. Period. Basically came out and said what causes autism was the Tylenol, but also was a combination of the crack scenes. So Trump came out and said it was a combination of crack scenes as well. I mean, like I said, Trump is doing some good shit. He came out and said, don't need to take the crack scenes together. I mean, he came out and really did some hardcore shit. Was like, and then he's like, why do you need to take this together? And then why are young girls taking this crack scene? And then why? I mean, he's out there mashing. So, but pregnant women, he told pregnant women that they don't need to, he told pregnant women that they shouldn't be taking autism. Now, Tylenol came out with this years ago, but the dumbass pregnant chicks, because it's Trump that told them not to do it, really is RFK, but because Trump told them not to do it, they're going to start doing the shit. Crazy as hell. Let me see it. Here we go. Check this out.
Man who doesn't have a degree in science, healthcare, or medicine, and who had a parasitic brain infection and was addicted to heroin for 14 years.
So now women, this is, you want to talk about Trump derangement syndrome? So we already showed you studies from Johns Hopkins, studies from Spain, studies from Europe, studies from Harvard have showed a connection between ADHD, autism, Tourette's, and other things connected to when women take Tylenol when they're pregnant to their children. So we already showed you that. Now I'm going to show you how some people are reacting to that. This is real. So to stick it to Trump, this is what they're doing. Oh yeah, you can't play it. No. So all right, let's play this one. Oh wait, can't play that either. So these are people taking, these are pregnant women taking Tylenol to stick it to RFK Jr. Now here's one more. So she's pregnant, she takes out the Tylenol. And you're dancing while you're taking something that's dangerous to your baby.
This is dumb as hell. These women's children should hate them for the rest of their life when they see this. If I was their kid and I saw this video and I saw that you took a chance with me to have autism or AD, whatever, when you were told not to do that shit, and the company you taking it from told you not to do it, but you did it anyway just because you were pissed at Trump, you were pissed at some dude, some president that you thought was evil, that you had no proof of that. Oh yeah, I would hate my mom for the rest of my life for that shit. And nothing you can do to talk to me. Sorry, we not talking no more.
This I don't even know what to say to this. I mean, let's watch this one. Let's see. Let's see if I can get the. Can we put the? Let's get the volume up.
About to take Tylenol for my headache while pregnant because I don't take my medical advice from a man who doesn't have a degree in science, healthcare, or medicine, and who had a parasitic brain infection and was addicted to heroin for 14 years. Yeah, I'll trust my doctors who have their degree.
Okay, well, even Tylenol tells you not to take it. There's a bit of
doctor said to. I thought Tylenol said not to.
Tylenol said not to.
They don't have a degree though.
So Tylenol said not to. Tylenol.
The last head of the HHS, he was a lawyer. He wasn't a doctor either. But they was listening to his ass. The last head of Health and Human Services, the one that Biden picked, that nigga was a lawyer. Just like RFK. So what the hell are you talking about? Man, these people are stupid as hell.
Tweeted this out in 2017. We actually don't recommend using any of our products while pregnant.
Do you have a I thought Tylenol said not to.
Tylenol said not to.
They don't have a degree though.
So Tylenol said not to. Tylenol tweeted this out in 202017. We actually don't recommend using any of our products while pregnant.
Do you have a degree,
are they doctors,
though?
Jimmy?
Are they doctors at Tylenol? So did you hear what RFK said? He's referencing studies from Johns Hopkins. He's referencing studies from Harvard, from Spain, from Denmark.
Does Denmark have a degree?
Again, this only became controversial because RFK is saying it.
Well, do you remember the people drinking seed oils on purpose online for a minute right after?
No, I didn't see that. That happened?
Yeah, and so I'm always suspicious.
Mainstream news has reported on this since at least 2014. And I want to show it to you.
Fox Business Alert, take a look at shares of Kenvue. They are up about 1.6%. Kenvue is the consumer products unit J&J spun off back in August. Shares hitting a one-month high this hour after it received a favorable court ruling related to a class action lawsuit. The lawsuit claimed that exposure to Tylenol during pregnancy caused birth disorders. The federal judge in the case issued an order that will not allow the plaintiffs to present evidence for a link between prenatal exposure to Tylenol and autism or ADHD. JP Morgan added Kenvue to its focus list, saying the ruling effectively collapses the plaintiffs' case in this litigation.
So the judge wouldn't allow them to show the evidence. Where was that? Where was the video I just showed? Where did I get? Oh, it was on.
It was on Twitter.
It was on Twitter. Let me go find that. Hang on.
You want to show?
This is what I'm talking about. So it wasn't controversial until RFK started.
It's supposed to be the safe option. Acetaminophen, most widely known as Tylenol, is routinely prescribed by doctors for pregnant women in pain. But a new large study out of Denmark calls this long-standing practice into question. In the study, women using the common pain reliever during pregnancy were more likely to have children who went on to have ADHD.
The Los Angeles Times looks at a possible link between pregnant women taking acetaminophen and kids with attention deficit hyperactivity disorder.
A warning tonight for pregnant mothers. A new study
So look how long this has been out. And they just been like, we don't give a shit. This has been out. The company said don't do it. Tylenol knew this was such a bad idea, or was going to be such bad publicity, that the company who owned Tylenol spun Tylenol off onto its own company. Like, nigga, when this comes out, we're gonna get sued out of hell. or get sued to hell. And goddamn, we can't allow the liability to come back to the mother company or the father company. So they was like, fuck this. You on your own, bitch. they broke Tylenol off, made it its own company because they knew of the backlash that was about to come. They was like, fuck this shit.
He shows acetaminophen during pregnancy could harm unborn baby.
We have an important warning for pregnant women. Using acetaminophen while pregnant could increase the chance that your child will be hyperactive. That's according to a new study by the Journal of the American Medical Association.
Research. So that's CNN. The first one was CNN reporting this. The second one, CBS News. And the third one was CNN headline news. They reported this. Nobody said they were crazy maniacs with brainworms.
Now, Kenvue came out on top in that, and now the Kenvue is not coming out on top.
Yeah.
You're going to see Why do we have influencers? So a corporation can pay them.
That's right.
So that's where that nonsense is coming from. What it's a lot like is when Diddy at his trial, there were people outside, supposed fans of Diddy, which I don't believe, squirting baby oil on each other. That reeks of a PR team we're going to take this baby oil thing and make it a strength. It's awesome you did that. And that's what that shit is. So you didn't see anybody doing this until just now. That's the corporation paying for influence.
And it wasn't until 2 or 3 years ago that Johnson & Johnson decided to spin off Tylenol into another company. So they can't.
But they got to lose.
So here we go.
Is raising concerns tonight that acetaminophen could be linked to autism and ADHD.
Acetaminophen is the most commonly used medication for pain and fever during pregnancy. Well, now we're learning that women who take it when pregnant may be exposing their baby to an increased risk of behavioral problems and other disorders, such as Tourette syndrome.
A new study from Johns Hopkins found taking acetaminophen late in pregnancy may be associated with a higher risk of having a child with autism or ADHD.
A new study from Johns Hopkins finds taking acetaminophen late in pregnancy is associated with a higher risk of having a child with autism or ADHD.
New research out of Spain is raising concerns about prenatal exposure to acetaminophen. A popular brand in the United States is, of course, Tylenol. A study from Spain included data from over 70,000 children. It shows those whose mothers took acetaminophen during pregnancy were about...
Actually, yes, it has. So first of all, who just said that? There's a big difference. He who thinks. It has. That's why why you think they released the story. They found the causation. What do you think we're doing right now? We just doing a story on correlation? No. This nigga did the study. All the studies from around the world. They brought them together, and the study from Tylenol itself. And they said, no, this is causation. This shit causes these things. This is why the Tylenol came out with the disclaimer back in the day. It said, don't do this if you're pregnant. So it is causation. It's not correlation.
About 20% more likely to develop ADHD or autism symptoms.
So I don't know what else to tell you. So again, this wasn't controversial. None of this is controversial. Ivermectin was considered a miracle drug before Trump talked about it. Same thing with hydroxychloroquine. They made you think it was fish tank cleaner, and only rednecks took it. It's on the WHO list of essential medicines. It saved billions and billions of lives, just like ivermectin. And people just fall for it. And you talk about mind control. This is a brainwashing mind control. And
advertising.
What's that?
Just advertising. All they're doing. Here's what just advertise.
Woman who has ever been pregnant. How dare
influencer campaign to make people still buy Tylenol and salvage we can. And if not, no biggie. It's a small
woman who has ever been pregnant. How dare RFK Jr. target mothers with fear and misinformation? There is no proven link between Tylenol use in pregnancy and autism. Tylenol is one of the few things. So she's obviously corrupted. She can't be that dumb. She can't have that many MD, MS, diploma about CCM. She can't have that much education and be that stupid.
I don't trust an infertility.
So the people are bought off, but again, HHS, the Health and Human Services, they did the study. So when you say there's nothing that shows causation, there it is. They did the study. The main government, the government did the study. So you can talk about all these other doctors all you want, but he put a bunch of doctors to study it, and they found it. Now I also think this is kind of letting off the crack scene companies, but not really, because Trump came out and killed them right after he could not say the word acetaminophen. He was like, Tylenol. But nigga, Tylenol is not, that's a brand name. That's not all acetaminophen. So that shit was hilarious. So now you see RFK in there killing it, just like he's always been. Wow. Trump's out here ball gargling and being Ving Rhames from Pulp Fiction. RFK is really doing some goddamn work. So shout out to RFK. even if you got to use Trump to do the shit. He says, yep. What's that say? Kevin New on Kenview, I guess, owns Tylenol. In 2023, Johnson & Johnson spun it off to avoid the conflict. Yep. They was like, bitch. It's not coming here. So moving along, some documents reveal that Joe bitch-ass Biden, we knew this though, but check this out. This is a real quick story. The Biden administration was pressuring who was it? Hold on, where'd it go? Biden administration was pressuring YouTube. Where'd it go? Did I lose it? Oh man. Hold on, let me see. Oh, here it is. All right. So check this out. Biden administration was pressuring people to cancel users, even though they weren't they weren't breaking the community guidelines. So like me, when my shit got taken down, when my thing got taken down, my video that I did on the Great Conjunction, again, this is Google taking shit down. So check this out. They canceled a whole bunch of people's YouTube subscription or channels, and now they got to bring them back.
Google announcing it will reinstate YouTube channels that were permanently banned for political speech, saying it was pressured by the Biden administration to remove content that did not even violate YouTube's policies. In a letter to the House Judiciary Committee, a lawyer for Google said, quote, "It is unacceptable and wrong when any government, including the Biden administration, attempts to dictate how the company moderates content, and the company has consistently fought against those efforts on First Amendment grounds." Journalist and author Alex Berenson is suing the Biden administration now after he was banned from Twitter in 2021 for violating the platform's COVID-19 misinformation guidelines, and he joins us now. Good morning to you, Alex.
Ainsley, good. Thanks for having me.
Well, thank you for coming on to talk about this. It's remarkable. Big tech, social media companies censoring people because of pressure from the Biden administration. Do you feel vindicated now that they're admitting this?
Well, I do feel vindicated. Jim Jordan has been doing a lot of work on this for a long time, and he's gotten documents out, but it's really nice to see Google come out and admit this. As some of your viewers may know, in 2021, I sued Twitter and forced them to let me back on the platform after.
So here's in the story, it says within the 5-page statement left by attorneys, it says within the 5-page statement of facts sent to the panel. This is a panel of the government. It says of the Judiciary House Committee. It says the sent to the panel are claims that the former president and his administration applied unacceptable and wrong pressure on YouTube to silence creators to whom or with whom the Democrats disagreed. The sprawling letter notes how senior Biden administration officials conducted repeated and sustained outreach to coerce Alphabet, which is their parent company, Google's parent company, to censor, or YouTube's parent company, to censor and remove content related to COVID-19. Alphabet was repeatedly pestered. That's what I was taken down for. I was talking about the CV19 and the cupcakes, and they took me down. I should be able to put my damn video back up, right? Nope. Alphabet was repeatedly pressured by unnamed senior Biden administration officials to remove content that the federal officials deemed inappropriate, despite it not violating the company's policies. The letter mentions how the administration officials, including President Biden, created a political atmosphere that sought to influence the actions of the platforms. So again, people are vindicated who got snatched off. A whole bunch of people got snatched off for talking about the CV19 and the cupcakes, or the crack scene. But no apology. Just you get your channel back. I think Alex Jones got his channel back. That's crazy. Alex Jones got his channel back. That's what's up. And a couple other people, major people who was taken down, they got their channels back. So again, we know the Biden administration was full of shit. We knew Biden, but it wasn't really Biden. Biden was dead while his nigga was sleeping up in the bedroom. his wife and whoever else she was tapping, they was running everything for him. And so this was this was their bullshit. He says, what'd you say? My channel hasn't been the same since I dropped no vaccine. Damn. See, they still doing me. They still doing me wrong. Ever since I did that, they put the shadow ban on my channel. I was mashing out. As soon as I did that, they put the shadow ban. Then I did the UCC thing, the shadow ban. Then I did the I started talking about Kamala and the Bohemian Grove, and they shadow banned even more. So they keep taking my shit down and shadow ban every time they take me down. And he said, last thing he says, yes, Excedrin is just like Tylenol, but only Tylenol mentioned. Excedrin is acetaminophen? Is it? I only take Advil. That's NSAIDs. But I didn't know Excedrin was acetaminophen. Okay. All right, guys. So last thing I got in regular news, 2 weeks after signing an executive order to keep federal government out of Chicago as a police force, Brenda Johnson cuts police funding by $100 million. Now remember, we don't need police in Chicago. What do you mean? We don't need them. We don't need police. We need more programs. So this nigga cutting the police funding by $100 million. Then in an interview, he shitted on the popo. So this dude is the worst person. Check this out. This dude is terrible.
Chicago's law enforcement community are taking offense with a comment made by Mayor Brandon Johnson. Earlier this week, he said in part, quote, jails and incarceration and law enforcement is a sickness. CBS News Chicago investigator Megan DeMar joined.
Hold on, not that one. Hold on, not that one. There's another one first. I want you to see this one before he craps on the popo. Hold on. Hold on. Oops. All right, here it is.
Spending. The police department has been asked to come up with as the city council heads into budget season. Department heads are facing tough questions about their spending. The police department has been asked to come up with $92 million in cuts, something the superintendent says would have an impact.
That's crazy.
Police Superintendent Larry Snelling taking his turn in the budget hot seat today, telling city council members that the department is well aware of the current budget crisis, and he realizes CPD will have to do its part, but he has concerns.
I want to be very careful and cautious about where we cut and what we do so that it doesn't affect the progress that we're making right now and the safety of the city.
Before the hearing, advocates gathered outside demanding that money allocated for unfilled police positions be reallocated for public health and community care.
So we have a system that is broken and we need to fix it. And the only place where we can find the money to fix it right now is in the police department.
People getting shot up like crazy in Chicago, and they want to take the police money and allocate it to some other programs. You need more police, goddammit. What the hell's wrong? This is crazy.
So, do you see how stupid it is over in Chicago right now? They are down police officers. They are fudging the numbers and reallocating how it is that they classify crime. They filtering the money through, and they're basically giving it to criminals. And we learned firsthand exactly what that looked like with the smash and grab at the Louis Vuitton store, while at the same time the governor was taking a picture with the guy the day before they did it, and then they arrested him after he killed somebody. We see the mayor crashing out. They got a $1.15 billion budget deficit. The schools are $734 million in the hole. We just learned just the other day that the CTA, the Chicago Transit Authority, is short hundreds of millions of dollars, and trains is going to be shut down and people are going to get laid off and they're not even going to run past 9 o'clock, which is essential for you to continue to keep up the idea that people can get to and from work that don't necessarily have a car and all of this stuff. Public transportation is very important for any city. And you see them now saying that they want the police department, who is already understaffed thousands of positions, to cut their budget by roughly $100 million, which means that less police is supposed to be on the street. And then you got people like this still on the defund the police campaign that's trying to take another $300 million away from the police and give it to the community. Mental health crisis. Honestly, I thought it was Los Angeles at one point.
Watch this.
Chicago is the poster child.
There's more. There's more about the police.
Tenant saying organizing this and cutting
There were concerns about police overtime as well.
I think when you've got a $1.5 billion deficit, you've got to look at every department. And so what I've called for isn't necessarily cutting, but auditing at the very least, right? Are we spending the money as effectively as possible?
The police department has already racked up $28 million more than the $100 million it's budgeted for overtime due to a multitude of major events. The superintendent saying organizers like NASCAR, which had its own inside security, helped defray police overtime, suggesting other event hosts might need to do the same. Snelling said he is concerned that meeting the suggested $92 million in cuts could hurt public safety, with the department already short nearly 1,000 officers.
We still have a lot of work to do. We're going in the right direction. It's going to take some time. And we just have to make sure that our department is properly staffed to get that done.
And while Snelling...
One of the reasons why they have so much overtime is...
So then that's them cutting the police. Now, this is the other thing. While they're cutting the police, this dumbass... While they're cutting the police, watch this dumbass.
Live, law enforcement is a sickness. CBS News Chicago investigator Megan DeMar joins us live now. The comment sparking outrage online and in the Cook County State's Attorney's Office, Megan.
Right, Erica, the Cook County State's Attorney told me she was deeply offended by that statement. Some argued that Mayor Johnson's words were taken out of context, so we asked him today to clarify exactly what he meant. During a press conference on Tuesday, Mayor Brandon Johnson was responding to a question about how to make Chicagoans feel safer in their communities.
The fact of the matter is we are driving violence down on this city, and we're using every single resource that's available to us. Jails and incarceration and law enforcement is a sickness that has not led to safe communities.
The law enforcement is a sickness comment took off in some conservative.
Or are they not using them properly? Are they not enforcing the laws? Is that why? Because usually I know if you fake a whooping, the kid is not going to do anything. But if you really whoop the kid's ass, then they're going to clean that room up. If you act like you're going to whoop a kid, they know that. They get used to, they get hit to that over a certain amount of time. Then, oh, she just talking shit. She ain't about to do nothing. But if you about that life, and when you tell your kid to clean up that room, and that kid knows if they don't clean up that room, what the fuck is coming next, that you ain't playing, they're going to clean that damn room up. So he keeps talking about law enforcement is not doing its job. That's because you're not enforcing the law. So yeah, if you keep letting people do crimes and then let them out of jail, hell yeah, they're going to keep doing it. Just ridiculous.
And pro-police circles on social media, even prompting Cook County State's Attorney Eileen O'Neill Burke.
The statement was disappointing and disheartening. We are part of law enforcement. The State's Attorney's Office is the prosecution arm, and that is clearly law enforcement.
To voice her own outrage during a sit-down interview with me on a different topic.
I have 1,300 people who work in this office who are dedicated public servants, who get up every single day to make sure that they keep women safe from domestic violence, to make sure that we are doing our jobs in protecting children from being sex trafficked, to make sure that we are prosecuting murder cases. What we do every day does not call for our eradication.
When she won her race in November, O'Neill Burke was considered the law and order focused candidate and was this time leaving out a reference to law enforcement specifically. When you just responded, though, you didn't loop in law enforcement this time. So did you not intend to use the
I said that law enforcement, here's what I've said though. Law enforcement alone does not keep communities safe. Law enforcement agrees with me on that. How do you send police officers into communities when there's little access to affordable housing? What is a police officer's responsibility to hunger?
You got to clean up the street first. He keep talking these damn programs and this and that. Yeah, you need all that stuff, but you need to clean up the damn riffraff in the street first. That's terrorizing the people. Because none of that is possible if people are scared of the young kids who live there, of the young cats, or just the riffraff that live there, no matter what age. So you got to clean up the goddamn street first. Then you can start talking about programs. When people feel safe, then they can relax and do some shit. But if they're on edge all the goddamn time, ducking bullets, then what the hell are you talking about? And then when this the crazy thing, I don't have the video, but he crapped on the popo, saying law enforcement is a sickness, while this fool has 3 police cars guarding his house. So there was a police officer who was one of the police officers guarding him. He said he called him a piece of crap. He hate him, but he got to work for him because he's the goddamn president of the city. So he has to be there. He's there with 3 police cars guarding his house, but police officers or Law enforcement is a sickness. Yeah, get your bitch. He's so full of shit, man. That boy's so full of shit. I may not like how Trump does Trumpish or Trump shit. Oh, yeah. But my question to Democrats continues to be, these are democratic cities and democratic countries or counties. What the fuck have you been doing? So yeah, they ain't been doing nothing. Do you guys understand? Democrats need you to be in trouble. They need the people because they're supposed to be the party of the people, right? Not the party of the establishment, party of the people. So if they fix the people's problems, then you don't need them no more. And they're saying this while all the while they're still the party of the establishment, the rich people. But they got to tell you that they for you the whole damn time, so you can vote for them. But then if they fix your shit, if they fix your problems, then why else would you vote for them if they fix your problems? You wouldn't. You ain't gonna keep voting for them if they fix your problems. You ain't gonna have no problems. They run on your problems. And we have to do this. We need to do that. We got to do this. Remember, I talked about this before. This is the rhetoric they use in order to keep you on edge, like there's hope. They can identify the problem, which takes the place of actually solving the problem. Well, and this is Hakeem Jeffries. We need to do what we got to do, get this thing in order. And we have to do plans, and Trump, MAGA, and the MAGA Republican. Like, nigga, if you don't get your goddamn Tyrannosaurus Rex arm down. So that's what they be doing. That's the fuck shit that's going on. While they steal your money, Republicans getting rich. How the hell did Ilhan Omar, did y'all hear about that? She was $45,000 in school debt when she became a congresswoman. Now she's worth $30 million. How the fuck that happened? How the hell you go from $45,000 in debt? Now your salary is only what, a couple $100,000 a year? So how you go from $45,000 in debt to being worth $30 million? And they just got that $30 million just like a few months ago on some stock shit. Excuse me. It came out that they got them $30 million on some stock shit that her husband did. So she gave the information. She basically was like, fuck this. If Pelosi and them doing it, I'm going to do it. She gave the husband the information. He went and made the goddamn bet or the stock trade, and they came up 30 mil. But they ain't solving no problem for your ass. You forget that shit. Nigga, solve a problem for you? Nigga, what? You gotta lost your damn mind. So in Skittle news, real quick, 16 states sue the Trump administration over threats to pull funding for sex ed on gender diversity. So Trump is not funding gender diversity sexual education. And they suing them because do you want your money to go to teaching kids, two dudes how they can be together, two women how they can be together? Or how to teach a dude he can be a woman, or how to teach a woman he can be a dude? You want your money going for that? Trump know that too. He don't want your money going for that shit either. So he like, fuck this. We're not doing that. 16 states and the District of Columbia, that chick, that the mayor, sued the U.S. Department, because there's no governor. So again, 16 states and the District of Columbia sued the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services on Friday, alleging that its threats to pull sexual education funding over curricula mentioning diverse genders identities or diverse gender identities were a violation of federal law. The complaint filed in federal court in Oregon, of course, Oregon, had to be California, Oregon, or New York, or someplace like that, says the department is attempting to force the states to rewrite sexual health curricula to erase entire categories of students and describe the action as the latest attempt from the current administration to target and harm transformer and and gender diverse youth. Again, hold up. What did it say? They are erasing. Wait. They said they're trying to erase entire categories of students. What the fuck? When did students become entire categories? like a box of crayons or a goddamn restaurant menu. They're boys or girls. That's it. What the hell are you talking about all these goddamn categories and shit? You can identify as this, you can identify as that, you can be this, you can be that, you can be this, you can be that, you can be this. What the hell? What are you learning? On how to make this goddamn world better. Or even you a better person. Because that ain't it. Telling you that shit ain't it. It says the pronouns. He says the pronouns are ain't buying your BS. Yep. It says Baba Dick Gregory said it's about the election, you know, and it's all a game on both sides. Same dirty rotten bird. Yep. It's no joke. He says, damn, her job way better than being a truck driver. Honest dollar is for the working poor. Straight up. Ilhan Omar killing it. Excuse me. So it says, since President Donald Trump returned to the White House in January, his administration has sought to recognize people as only male or female. HHS wants to prohibit the inclusion of what it describes as gender ideology in lessons funded by the Personal Responsibility Education Program, or the PREP, and the Title 5 Sexual Risk Avoidance Education, which is SRAE program. The federal grants are used to teach about abstinence and contraception for the prevention of pregnancy and sexual transmitted infections. Yeah, right. That's not what you're teaching about. The plaintiffs say the grant conditions HHS is seeking to impose, the plaintiffs say the grant conditions HHS is seeking to impose violate federal law, the separation of powers in Congress, spending power. Now, so Congress does have the spending power, but the execution of it or the choice to spend it or not to spend it is within the executive branch. So they keep talking about this. Yeah, you can allocate the funds, but that doesn't mean he has to use it. The termination of funding under the two federal grant programs could result in a loss of at least $35 million to the plaintiff states, according to the complaint. So shout out to Trump again. We don't want that. And he pushed again, man. This nigga is doing so much good shit in America, but then his fuck shit is all with Kazarian, and it's really bad. It's so bad that it just blankets all the other good shit that you're doing in America. It just kills it, no matter what. Even they press charges on James Comey, the former FBI dude. They pressed charges on him the other day. Now everybody's like, oh yeah, the MAGA's going crazy. Oh yeah, that's great. We're starting to see people go to jail and blah blah blah. When we need to see Barack Obama go, we don't give a shit about that. This is distraction. This would be cool if nothing else in the world was going on. Then this would be cool. The only reason he's doing this shit is because everybody is shitting on Kazarian right now about Charlie Kirk. That is the main topic going around. Who killed Charlie Kirk, and was it the Kazarians? Everybody know it wasn't that kid. So he needs to redirect the narrative. Again, this is what he does. He's a major narrative redirector. How can I redirect the narrative? Oh, let's press charges on James Comey. Boom, boom, boom. Everybody's on that shit. How to get him away from Epstein? Because the Epstein files, this thing just came out again too. The Congress said that you need to release the Epstein files. So this nigga's trying to get away from all that shit. So this doesn't mean anything to me as far as him doing this, because he's fucking up everywhere else. So just saying, it would be good, Trump, but you so full of shit. nothing good you do is worth any damn thing. So moving along, last thing in the Transformer or Skittle news, transgender sex offenders shocking behavior after going into a female locker room at Virginia High School. This is a Transformer who went into a female locker room at Virginia High School. See, this is why these motherfuckers, people want to take them out, because they do stuff like this. A Transformer registered sex offender is accused of exposing his genitals to multiple women and children in the Virginia public female locker rooms. Richard Cox, that would have to be his name, 58, who identifies as a woman, sure, the fuck out of here. That's that auto, what is it? autogynephilia. That autogynephilia where they get sexually aroused from dressing up like women. That's what that is. Who identifies as a woman but is still physically male, was back in court on Thursday for a lengthy preliminary hearing, according to 7 News. Cox was arrested in December, allegedly for spying on women while naked in the female changing rooms at Arlington's Premier Aquatic Center, which shares facilities with Washington Library High School. Damn. A dozen witnesses testified against the predator, who is facing multiple charges, including indecent exposure, sex offender loitering near schools, and indecent liberties with children. See, this is the problem when you start giving weight to this shit. You start allowing this stuff to happen. The pedos and the MOPs, minority or MAPs, not MOPs, MAPs, minority attracted peoples and all the rest of that. This is what you give rise to. This is insane. When you start entertaining this type of psyche, like it's sane. When you start entertaining this type of shit like it's sane, this is what you're gonna get. The 58-year-old stated throughout the hearing that he is a woman and urged the judge to instruct the prosecutor to stop misgendering him. The judge declined. Like, nigga, stop it. The prosecutor kept like him, his, he. Can you stop misgendering me? Stop it. Stop it. This nigga didn't even have the chest to do this. Together, apart, together. See, if I put them together, I'm a woman. You see, Judge? You see, Your Honor? If I move my chest really close together, it looks like I have some breasts that were removed. So that makes me a woman who just had my breast removed. Like, nah. Nah, we're not doing it. Nah, I'm not gonna buy it. Other accounts include mothers with their young daughters seeing the 58-year-old naked and exposed in public female locker rooms. The Arlington detective also testified she found child pornography along with children's gymnastics and swim schedules on Cox's phone. Wow. What? They found child pornography along with children's gymnastics. You are a sick piece of boy. And swim schedules. He's trying to look at little kids in bathing suits. Man, throw that bitch ass motherfucker under the jail. Throw his bitch ass under the jail. Literally under the jail. Transhumanism is on the menu. Altering the creation of God is the works for the devils. Yeah, that's definitely what they're trying to get you into, the transhuman and shit. Says, no, you're not a woman. Absolutely hell no. Yo, I'm from Virginia. I heard about that. Get the strap, because my daughter's ghost here in Richmond. That nigga said, get the strap. He says, for example, the Hijras and the Inuit community in India have their own burial ritual and burial grounds. Okay. So, yeah, man, this is why we gotta be up on this bullshit. You see what happens when you just let it go. Dudes walking into ladies' locker rooms naked in front of little girls. And he got children on his phone. Not in a good way. So moving along, in the science and the weird, the ancient part of your brain that controls consciousness, found by scientists. For decades, scientists have thought that human consciousness arises from the newest and most sophisticated part of the brain. But a Cambridge scientist now claims that the fundamental basis of our experience may be controlled by a far more primal structure. In a review over a century of scientific research, neuroscientist Dr. Peter Coppola examined stimuli, studies, animal experiments, and neurological case reports. Based on this wide-ranging evidence, Dr. Coppola argues that consciousness might arise from our ancient lizard brain. Really? If true, that would mean that consciousness is not such a uniquely human trait as scientists had once thought. Well, there's different degrees of consciousness. Writing in the conversation, Dr. Coppola says, these reports are striking evidence that suggests maybe the oldest part of the brain, the oldest parts of the brain are enough for basic consciousness. The human brain is a little like a Russian nesting doll with the parts that evolved most recently on the outside and the older, more basic parts nestled towards the center. In turn, this may influence patient care as well as how we think about animal rights. Now we're going to think animals are conscious. Now animals are conscious. Animals already have rights. You just can't walk up and just kill animals for no reason. However, now they're going to have freedom of speech rights. They're going to have not human, but conscious rights. Oh, come on now. Y'all with the bullshit. In fact, consciousness might be more common than we realize. It is, because dogs are smart. Animals are smart, for sure. So it is that. There's definitely different levels of consciousness that science is not aware of. So for sure. But when you start talking about giving animals rights, nigga, do they buy anything? Are they building shit? Do they dispose of anything? Are they guarding anything? All right, well, they don't get rights. The human brain is a little like a Russian. I said that. So this is all bullcrap. I talked about this before with, hold on, where's the book? Where's my book? Oh, damn, hold on. Damn, what happened to my book? Oh, what happened to my book? Oh, yeah. Damn it. Damn book. Son of a bitch. Lost my shit. Damn it. Where's my book, man? All right. Guess I don't have it. Damn. Son of a bitch. Oh. Damn. I don't have my book. At the present moment, I can't find my book, but it's the science, occult geometry, and the science of hermetic motion and number. I've showed you this book countless times. And in the back of the book, in the back of the book, he said, wait a minute, so now dogs can run for office. Lassie and Cujo 2020. Nigga, you funny. And he says, I read about the lizard brain. The lizard brain. That's really something. That's crazy. Well, yeah, that's your base brain. That's instinct. Instinct is the lizard brain. That's just your base instincts is your lizard brain. Like flight or fight is part of the lizard brain. But that book, the hermetic, these occult geometry and the science of hermetic motion and number, And I also did this. A lot of you found me on Bro Rich's channel where I did on that show. I did science is or your brain is a tuning fork. So your brain is just a musical instrument. It only registers frequency, vibration, and frequency, which is what everything is. All information, everything you know in the universe is frequency and vibration. Like what I showed on Greg Braden. I showed about the cymatics last week. I know you guys saw that. So the higher the frequency, the more complicated the information, the vibration. So in order for you to reach higher levels of consciousness, you have to raise your vibrational level, your frequency, in order to receive that information. So again, how vibration works, it moves so fast. If vibration is moving so fast, it moves at tachyon speeds, meaning it's able to just pass through anything. It's moving so fast, just like the Flash. And I go back to the Flash, the most perfect example of what I'm talking about. So how Flash can vibrate so fast that he can move through solid objects, that's information. That's all the information that's ever existed within the universe. So move so fast. And then it also, depending on what the information is, it's higher. It has a higher vibration or a lower vibration, or different rates of vibration, I should say. And so for you, if you want higher vibrational information, then you have to tune your body in order to receive that. So that means I have to go out, try to seek that information. When you're doing that, the body is transforming itself in order to be able to register that frequency. So how does it stop the vibration? The brain fiber or your synapse has to get thick enough to slow that frequency down in order so that it registers in the brain. That's the science of it. Again, just like a tuning fork or the string on a guitar or the string inside of a piano. That's what your synapse is. It's like a string on a piano or a guitar. And just like when you strum it, because it's so thick and tight, when you strum it, boom, it has that vibration. Same thing with your synapse. It's tuned to a certain frequency and vibration. And how does it do that? By the information that you're studying and learning. It starts to build that synapse with that frequency. So then all of the information that's out here in the universe that's containing or that resonates with that vibration and frequency, you will start to bring it in. You'll start to channel it. And that's why they say people, I just channeled this information. I had no idea how I knew this. That's because they've tuned themselves to that vibration in order to register that information, to draw it in. So that's what consciousness really is. It's being able to register frequency and vibration within, or conscious frequency and vibration within the universe. So, the brain, it is within the brain because the brain is just a tuning, a tool to register vibration and frequency. So when he says that, he's kind of right, but he's off, not understanding what the brain is actually doing. So again, for the people who saw me on Bro Rich, you can go back and watch that video. He had me breaking it down. It was like 2.5 hours. Breaking that off on that video. Again, it's called, if anybody can find it, you can put it in the chat. I appreciate you. Also, you guys should be watching me on Rumble. Go over there. If you haven't subscribed to me on Rumble, please make sure you go over to Rumble and subscribe. And if you haven't joined the Lawyer.
Too many people walk through life carrying fear. Not because they've done something wrong, but because no one ever told them they have rights. When you don't know the law, even ordinary life can feel like a risk. That's why we build Know Your Rights Foundation, a place where the law becomes clear, simple, and yours. Knowledge is your shield. The law is your defense. Start learning today at KYRF.org.
Boom. Get on over there, KYRF.org. Make sure you sign up /volunteers. And that's how you sign up. So that's what the brain is, again, or what consciousness, that's where consciousness comes in. So science, you're moving along, but not necessarily there. Moving along in this story, though, scientists think we may have received a signal from a parallel universe through a wormhole. In 2019, gravitational wave detectors on Earth picked up a signal that left scientists baffled. Gravitational waves are ripples in the fabric of space and time, usually created when massive dense objects like black holes collide, but at less than 1/10 of a second long. Damn, that's great. That's fast as shit. This sudden burst was far shorter than the drawn-out chirps normally produced by merging black holes. Now, researchers think this strange signal, dubbed GW190521, could have arrived from a parallel universe. Here we go. This is the multiverse. There's a bunch of yous out there. If you haven't seen the one, that's the best movie that breaks it down. You haven't seen the one with Jet Li? To me, that's the best movie that breaks down the multiverse. But so it says in a preprint paper. Damn. preprint paper. Let me say that 3 times fast. In a preprint paper, a team led by Dr. Qi Lai of the University of Chinese Academy of Scientists argues that GW, I'm just gonna call it GW, could be an echo of a wormhole collapsing. If a collision of 2 black holes was powerful enough to create a tunnel between universes, the gravitational signal could pass down the wormhole's throat into our cosmos. Oops. Since the wormhole would only be open for a very short time, this would explain why GW seems to cut off abruptly. Although their modeling suggests this scenario isn't very likely, Dr. Lai says evidence cannot rule out that the signal traveled to Earth from another universe. So 2 black holes of different universes, they collided and shared information for not even a second, a millisecond. Trying to say that proves that we have, parallel universes. Now, again, I don't know, but is it possible? Absolutely. Based off the science of if I did this instead of that. Again, go watch Mr. Destiny. Mr. Destiny breaks that up. Man, I would show you Mr. Destiny, but I think that's a Disney movie and Disney gonna hit me. Bitch! But Mr. Destiny shows he breaks that off so damn well. If you haven't seen Mr. Destiny, with who was it? Dennis Quaid's brother? I think it's Dennis Quaid's brother. But dope ass movie. Wait, you say what? Kev, do you watch Kevro? And if so, what do you think about his views? I don't know who that is. I mean, let me know who he is. I'll check him out. Where was I at? Damn. Off my damn train of thought. And where we at? Oh, the wormhole. Oh, so damn, what's the movie I was telling you? Oh yeah, Mr. Destiny. Is it Alex Quaid? No, is it? Is that him? No, it's Jim Belushi. It's not Dennis Quaid's brother. Sorry, is John Belushi's brother, Jim Belushi. That's who's in it. The John Belushi used to be on Saturday Night Live, but his brother Jim Belushi was this movie star, and so Jim Belushi is the one who was in the movie, Mr. Destiny, and that breaks it off, and it talks about how when you're on your path, and he does this with like little beams of light, little balls of light. He's like, when you're on this path, and you say that when you at this part, you didn't do the same thing, you did a separate thing, then your path veers off to this way. Now they show this also in Infinity War. And talk about this in Avengers Infinity War, which I may pop on in a second. God damn it. I ain't seen that in years. So I might pop that on in a minute. But in Avengers Infinity War, they talk about that. So as soon as you do something different, you branch off a new reality. But that doesn't kill the old reality. The old you who made that decision he made that decision and he's still going on. And he or she is still moving. While the new person who made this decision, he's on a new path. And then that person will make another decision that, boom, veers off another path. And then so on and so on and so forth. Yeah, the Blues Brothers. Yeah, John Belushi. and Jim Belushi and or Jim Belushi. No, John Belushi was in the Blues Brothers. Yeah, John Belushi was in the Blues Brothers. So, multiple universes. Now, again, they say this might be the first evidence that we have parallel universes. Who knows? But I'm down for it. Is there another Cam? There's another Cam out there. I don't know if it be two me. I'm dope enough. Goddammit. I'm too dope enough. Goddamn, I don't need two me. No. I'm just playing. There's a bunch of Cams out there, I'm sure. There's a bunch of yous out here just in this universe. Do you know you have a doppelganger? Y'all know what that is? A doppelganger? You have a doppelganger. Somewhere out here in the world, there's somebody who look exactly like you. And this is the funny thing. They may be a different color. Have you ever seen somebody who looked like one of your homies, but they was white or Asian or something like that? Have you seen that? I've seen it so many times. I've seen Caucasian people look just like a black person, or a black person who just look just like a Caucasian person. And like, God damn, how do y'all got to be from the same tribe, but how the hell you ain't? That's crazy. He says, yeah, Loki. Oh, y'all talking about Loki? Yeah, Loki is talking. Yeah, Loki's off the chain. The Holy Quran speaks of the seven firmament, each separated by and heavily guarded. Okay, yep. So this is stuff we already know. So moving along, 2 calves. We don't need 2 calves. So moving along, humans just got older. An ancient skull pushes back our origins by 400,000 years, making Homo sapiens more than 1 million years old. So this is after Lucy. Lucy's not Homo sapien. She was Homo, I think she was Homo erectus. It's time to rewrite the family tree. So if y'all don't know who Lucy is our common ancestor of humanity. Lucy, back to Africa. All of the mitochondria in the world today goes all the way back to Lucy. So mitochondria is DNA that's passed down from the mother to the child, and it's only passed down from mother to child. So you can trace it throughout the world. And so all mitochondria goes back to this Lucy being, right? And this was 3 million years ago, but this is after Lucy. So Lucy was Homo erectus. And they made the movie Lucy with what's her name? Scarlett Johansson, breaking down how ultimately to use all of your brain, you turn to melanin. Did y'all see that in the movie? When you use 100% of your brain, she turned into melanin, pure melanin. No, they're not telling you nothing there. So it said, it's time to rewrite the family tree, as scientists have revealed that our species is even older than we thought. Previous studies have proved that we evolved in Africa before finally conquering the world. See, they break it down in here. Getting the better of some other rival human species on our way. However, scientists now say we've been getting the date of the origins totally wrong. In a new paper, the experts that claim Homo sapiens began to emerge over 1 million years ago. Until now, it's been commonly believed that we split from our closest human relatives 600,000 years ago. Some findings, based on a new analysis of a rare Chinese skull fossil, pushes back our species' origins by some 400,000 years. Study author Chris Stringer, an anthropologist, the National History Museum, said the landmark findings offer an important window into our evolutionary past. Fossils like this one just, so it's written wrong, again, how they write. But fossils like this one show just how much we still have to learn about our origins, he said. It doesn't have the word show in there. I added the word show. It should have that. So older than we thought, huh? The new. So basically what they're saying is that the new human is older than they thought. And that would be the ones that the Anunnaki worked on. You know the story. The Anunnaki came and took the Homo erectus, put him on the goddamn ship, flew out to goddamn Mars to what is it? Cydonia on Mars with the face and the so basically the remake. So we're actually the Giza Plateau is a remake of Cydonia. Cydonia on Mars. So the face, the pyramid, and all the rest of that. So apparently that face is where they did the experiments, or that plateau on Mars is where they did the experiments with the humans. They took us from here as a Homo erectus, flew us up to Mars on the Shams, the small ships that came from Nibiru, did the experiments in the lab. The laboratory was supposed to be the face. Could have been the pyramids, but apparently, according to the science, it was the face. That's why in the movie, the face opened up and showed everything. Now, I showed that in the video that Disney took down. Now, again, if you want to see that video was still being simultaneously live streamed to Rumble. So if you want to go check that video out, it's on Rumble 2 weeks ago. I think it's 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, where I showed the mission to Mars, the end where they seeded, where the Martians seeded Earth with their spores and it grew. So again, genetic modification, genetic manipulation by extraterrestrials is how we jumped. Remember, they say we jumped from this Homo erectus to this Homo sapien, and they have no idea how we got from here to here. They're like, how the fuck they do that? That should have taken millions of years, huh? Unless you got somebody working. Now I did the stories a couple of weeks ago, how they just found out and said it was damn near impossible for a single cell organism to have developed from the ocean into who we are today. They say it's damn near impossible without intelligent intervention. So again, this is where we are with the science. It's starting to catch up to the ancient past. We're starting to know who created us with all the stuff that. Now, what does that mean? When we start to figure out and find out everything that was hidden, does that mean it's the end? Because shit, I don't want that to happen. So let it be some more stuff for me to figure out. But so yeah, man, 400,000 years older than they thought. The Anunnaki's doing their little tampering, doing their little experiments. Was it Nergal? I think it's Nergal. I think was one of the scientists, and who was the scientist? Ninti. Now these I don't know if these are real names, but these are some names that were attributed to the scientists. So moving along, last couple things. Where'd it go, man? Ooh. Okay, here we go. So, moving on. Women could, now this is crazy. Let me say this. Don't be getting no crazy ass ideas, ladies, after this story. You understand? However, women could soon have virgin births without men, experts say, as a female lizard gives birth alone. Don't get no goddamn ideas. A virgin birth may sound like something found only in the Bible, but it's actually one of nature's real-life miracles. Known by science as parthenogenesis, this natural form of asexual reproduction lets healthy offspring develop from a female's unfertilized eggs. Stop the bullshit. Only last month, a female lizard at a zoo near Birmingham gave birth to 8 hatchlings, despite never having been in contact with a male. Oh shit, here we go. But virgin births have already occurred in a wide range of animals, such as sharks, snakes, crocodiles, crustaceans, scorpions, and wasps. Amazingly, virgin births leave no part of, amazingly, virgin births leave no part of the male to play, casting doubt over their role in the entire reproductive process. See the fuck shit? I told you, women don't start no shit. Don't start no bullshit. Anunnaki, please hire me. He says, I don't even need a 2 weeks notice. Anunnaki, please hire me. So it's currently parthenogenesis has never occurred in humans, although it has been achieved in mammals. Get the hell out of here. Although it has been achieved in mammals. And while it may sound too good to be true for misandrists, this is misogynist, I think, misandrists who want a baby. Oh no, misandrists who want a baby human virgin birth might actually be possible. Let me read that again. And while it may sound too good to be true for misandrists who want a baby, human virgin births might actually be possible. So, is this the beginning of the end for men? We know that parthenogenesis usually happens when when the female has been isolated for a long time and has little hope of finding a man. So when your cootie done dried up into goddamn the desert that Cain from Kung Fu was walking through, only old school people gonna recognize that reference. Remember Cain walking through the desert, Cain from Kung Fu? You walk through that goddamn desert. God damn it, Cain. Put some shoes on first off, god damn it. Nobody want to look at your goddamn ugly ass, crusted up feet walking through the desert. But Cain from Kung Fu, this is how the cootie, this is when you're gonna be able to have a baby, ladies. When your cootie looks like the desert from Kung Fu. So let's see. Oh, it says just a few years ago, still going, just a few years ago. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, by this logic, women who are living alone should be able to get pregnant even if they are not having sexual intercourse with a man. Just a few years ago, parthenogenesis was thought to be impossible in mammals, but recent experiments have changed all that. See, not natural. This ain't natural, ladies. So let's get this clear. It ain't happening in the mammals natural. Scientists in China, again, fucking China, reported in 2022 that parthenogenesis had been achieved with mice using the clever but controversial gene editing tool CRISPR. See? That's the way they made that CV19. Thanks to the team's genetic manipulation, one live mouse born through parthenogenesis survived to adulthood and was even able to reproduce. So through human science, they sitting there and saying they're gonna be able to make women have babies. Now again, women can have babies without men. They just need to be artificially inseminated. But what they're saying is they're gonna be able to genetically modify the egg. They're gonna be able to not just inject or fertilize the egg with a male's sperm, but they're going to be able to genetically modify the egg in a woman to be able to just fertilize itself. This is what they're saying. They're going to allow. Now, what is that going to do for the baby? Because a woman or a baby, a human, gets its traits, especially a lot of its characteristics from the man, the sperm. I know a lot of ladies don't want to believe that, but that's true. A lot of the personality, the live, all that shit comes from the sperm. So what will that do when women don't have that energy imbuing their eggs or, being imbued into the egg? So what'd you say? The mysterious beings are mentioned in Genesis 6:4 as being on earth before and after the flood. The term Nephilim is sometimes translated as giants or as fallen ones. Yeah. He says, Lotto soldier. They all wasn't bad. In Shaka, in the Shaka book, he spoke one. Wait a minute. They all wasn't bad in Shaka book. He spoke of one in his tribe that lived alone on top of a hilltop. The giant had plenty of women and livestock, and Shaka became general. He was like, yeah, he gotta go. Y'all talking about the Anunnakis? For sure. He said, osmosis babies. Yep. Osmosis babies. That's exactly what this shit is. Scientists in China reported, I just said that. Thanks to the, all right, that's it. That's the end of that story. So, ladies, science is saying you got to hope. If you don't get no D, if your cootie coo dry up like the desert, there's still hope. You still got some hope out there. It says a nigga in the vicinity of the virgin birth is the father. Nigga in the vicinity of the virgin birth is the father. What the fuck? Oh shit. So, ladies, y'all, that's the bullshit. Don't start grasping the hope, holding on to shit like y'all gonna have a baby without a man. It's not gonna happen. The universe is not gonna facilitate that. Even if the human or man try to make it so, I don't think the earth and universe would facilitate that. It's not in harmony. Now, it might be. We're genetic manipulation, so hey. Who's to say that humans can't achieve that yet? So moving along, shark-proof wetsuit can even resist bites from great whites. It says a shark-proof wetsuit can even resist bites from a great. Now, who wants to test this? I just had to throw this in there to see who wants to test. Who wants to test the bite-proof shark suit that could survive bites from a great white shark? Who's first? You slide all the way under the goddamn desk and shit. You're not me. Fuck that shit. Going for a dip in the ocean is about to get a lot safer. Scientists have developed a shark-proof wetsuit, and it's even resistant to bites from great whites. The wetsuit incorporates strong and light fibers, often used in sailing rope, as well as ultra-high molecular weight polyethylene. This means it offers both flexibility and protection, making it more suitable for recreational use and traditional chainmail suits. Now, anybody remember the Lord of the Rings? What was that shit he gave him? What was it called? Ythril or some shit? What was that? It was called wasn't it called Ythril or something? And he had that shit on when that big ass giant stabbed him. What was it? Frodo. He had that shit on. That thing stabbed him, and it didn't grow because he had the Ythril of the gods, a gift from the god. So this is basically what they're saying. They made a Ythril suit. Incredible footage shows the wetsuit material being tested against an enormous great white, albeit not a person. See, ain't no person tested this shit. See, they left the shit out. That's the shit. Not a person has not tested this yet. Only dummies. It's only been tested on dummies. So, buddy. Amazingly, the material survives the encounter unscathed. Suggesting it could provide a lifeline for surfers breaking shark-infested waters or braving shark-infested waters. Professor Charlie Huveniers, who leads the Southern Shark Ecology Group. While these suits don't eliminate all the risk, ergo internal injuries may still occur. Like they can crush you. Like even though the shark won't bite through the suit, the pressure that a shark bite, like thousands of pounds of pressure, can still crush your bones or give you internal bleeding or some shit like that. Still may occur. Our results indicate that they can reduce blood loss and trauma from major lacerations and punctures, potentially saving lives. Hey, that's dope shit if it's real. You tested first, bruh. You test it, then you test it again. And you keep on testing it for some years. And then maybe after you test it a few more years after that, then we may buy that shit. God damn. So last couple things I got. In nigga news, this is the nigga news. A young melanated kid beat up a security guard at a rap concert for telling him to move to his proper seat. See, this is that black fatigue they be talking about. Watch this. Here we go. Let me see if I can show you. This is now. I blame this on the parents. This is the parent. This is the parents. Check this out. Come on, man. Are they kidding with this damn commercials? Dude, these commercials is and this is oh, this is ridiculous. They're trying to make you watch a half an hour, a 30-second commercial? Get the fuck out of here, man. This is absolutely ridiculous. Dude, and you can't even click on the video. It's ridiculous. All right, here's the video. Oh, look at him. That security guard is 1,000 years old. I think he's actually 80. I think the security guard is like 80 or something like that. This dude beat up on this old ass security guard. So here we go again. Right. And then he went back to punch him some more. Look at that shit. He need his ass beat. First off, that's emotional feminine shit. Again, these new generation with their long ass, feminine ass, gay ass hair, they can't control their emotions. You going off on a dude for telling you to get in your proper seat? You gonna beat up the security guard? And the dude old that and the old security guard, because you damn sure wouldn't have done that if it was me. See? That's punk bitch shit. That little kid is gonna grow up to be a punk bitch. Whoever is daddy, your daddy is a punk bitch too for not teaching you the proper way how to be a man. Don't beat up on weak ass people. You should have known. And if you didn't know, it's because your daddy didn't teach you. Because his parents, they released him when his parents came and got him. Apparently, it says a terrified stadium employee was savagely assaulted by a violent boy after asking the youngster to move to the correct seat at a rap concert in Kansas City. Shocking footage of Sunday's attack inside T-Mobile Center during the NBA YoungBoy concert has sparked outrage. NBA YoungBoy. This is Floyd Mayweather's grandson's father. Says the employee, an older man, could be seen being speared into the ground. What is that? Speared to the ground? I don't know what that is. Speared to the ground over a chair by the youth. As the unnamed boy who was under 16 nears his victim with his fist clenched, the man attempts to grab and hold his shirt, seemingly trying to put distance between the two of them. The boy then starts throwing his wild punches at the man as the crowd around them erupts into screams. Other members of the audience can be seen trying to intervene. No, they weren't. Can be seen trying to intervene, pulling the young man from the man. Eventually, the boy is dragged off him as the stadium employee lays on the ground, having lost his glasses in the melee. While being taken away, the boy assaulted a security guard, but he assaulted another security guard. Despite the appalling orgy of violence. Orgy of violence? Okay, that's another word. The boy was released shortly afterwards into the custody of his parent. Oh, parent, not parent. So that's probably his mom. Not plural. I thought it was parents, plural, but it's parent. Bet you it's his mom. Again, this is crazy. You emotional little bitch. You an emotional little bitch. Look how little he is. Little dude gets slammed on his face with one damn hand. 15? Oh, I would have showed you. You want to be a man? I would have showed you. Straight up. You want to throw hands like a man? I would straight beat your ass like a motherfucker, like you was 50 years old, nigga. I'd have beat the living shit out of you. Straight up. These little young cats, they need to start learning. Generation X don't play that shit. That's an older dude. He was like generation, whatever, the boomer generation or something like that. Because Generation X nigga would have broke your neck. Promise you that. Straight up. You'd have got mangled if it was a Generation X cat. Even a millennial. I'm going to say even a millennial would have beat your ass. But again, this is the black fatigue that we need to get a hold of in our community, or it's going to permanently make melanated people's stock just go down the tubes. Our stock is already declining. I mean, it's it's on the low. And before it crashes, we need to do something about it. So get control of your kids, goddamn. You understand? This is just not acceptable. And like I said, I'd have beat the living snot out that little dude. I wouldn't have cared. I would not have cared. If you want to fight like that, I'm gonna show you that you don't really know nothing about fighting. And when it took me but 1 or 2 punches, he'd have been out. Really 1 punch. He'd have been out. But I'd have woke him up just so I could smack him up again. I'd have woke his ass up after I knocked him out. Because if you've been in martial arts, you know how to wake people up when they get knocked out. Just reestablish blood flow. Once I'd have woke his ass up, knocked his ass out again. Knocked his ass right back out. Little bitch. So just saying, get control of your kids, please. Moving along. A couple of Caucasian kids. Now we got to see this. I had to show you this. This is bad. Got to show you this one. Dang. Well, let me just. Hey, man. Hey, bud. What you doing? Oh, wait a minute. I think it's in my hold on. Probably in my history. Here we go. Oh, there you go. There you go. Oh, here it is. All right.
Charlie Kirk being killed, agencies were targeted with bomb threats. Now, a MAGA hate group decides to go to.
So this is a couple of Caucasian kids. In the spirit of Charlie Kirk, they announced something called the No Fear, debate tour, where they just go into colleges and try to debate in the spirit of Charlie Kirk and trying to get civil debate going. They were wearing some MAGA hats, went to a black college, and this is what happened at the black college. Because of course, melanated people don't know how to have civil debate, civil discourse without being emotional. Again, this hyper feminine time that we're into, it's got to go. This hyper feminine energy that men, it's got to go. That's not sustainable for you. You can't live being hyper feminine, man. So something's gonna have to happen. But check it out. Here we go.
Tennessee State University. They call themselves the Freedom Tour. And what they do, they go Fearless Tour. I'm sorry, they go to these college campuses. Now, here's the deal. They showed up at Tennessee State uninvited, did not seek permission, and set up their table. And
Tennessee State is a public university. The campus is open to the public. Only places that are deemed private are private. Anyone can go there. If it's open to the public, especially paid for by public dollars, it's open to the public. They didn't need permission.
The whole point This is what the whole point was. You see right here, DI should be legal, deport all illegals now. Then they got upset because students grabbed their signs and tossed them. And then, of course, they were escorted off campus by security. Now, the videos have been going around social media. Let's just roll it, turn the audio up.
Listen at this dumb shit. All they're doing is yelling. Nobody's trying to talk, have an actual conversation. Nobody's trying to do any of that. The youth for melanated people is done, man. They're done. This is a representation of the youth that's coming up, that's coming around. They're done. There's nothing for them in the future. If this is what they think they're going to act on, they're going to get locked up. America's tired of this bullshit. They not having it.
Boy. So we got to talk about some woke black fragility on full display at Tennessee State University, which happens to be an HBCU, right? So we're talking about historically black university, historically black college, which means that the school is most likely mostly black, okay? And these black students got pissed off and upset because some conservative Trump-supported students who happen to be white, okay, for the most part, they simply came to campus to have a conversation, to debate, okay? In the spirit of Charlie Kirk, going to these college campuses and debating, spreading ideas that these woke college students typically won't hear in classrooms, right? And let's just say things got out of control to the point where the group had to be removed from campus because these woke black students could not control their emotions because they were so upset about hearing political opinions that they disagree with. Take a look.
So what part of our systems is for people of color?
All of it. The entire system is for everybody. Anybody who's an American citizen.
So you feel like there's nothing. So you feel like everybody is equal.
Yeah. I mean, everybody's equal in their rights, but not everybody's obviously equal in their, what they have. Like, I grew up in a double wide trailer. He grew up in Boca Raton. So, we didn't grow up equal. We're both white. I mean, he's a Jew, so that's probably why he grew up in Boca Raton. But, so we're not equal in what we possess as we start always, but we are equal in what we're allowed to do, our opportunity.
Can I ask you, do you think that there's any law that allows me to do something that you can't do, for example?
I don't think there's any laws that say that you can do something that I can't. But then again.
Now, really quick, are they being volatile or antagonizing or any of that? Are they doing any of that? Are they being uncivil at any point in time during this conversation? All they're doing is sitting down with them hats on. This show you the bullshit that melanated people are on. If you're completely operating off emotion, you're done. You're done. Nothing completely operates off of nothing really. If you act on emotion first, most of the things that happen to you get fucked up because you need some type of logic, be able to plan that shit out. Emotion just goes blindly into shit. So check out this brother. Shout out to this brother who wasn't emotional. He was able to have a calm, civil discourse with these brothers. Which is what it should have been. But here we go.
This system can't be ignored. Like, we can't just say it does not exist because there are countless examples of it existing.
Maybe just one example of what you're talking about. So what's wrong with the system that allows, I guess, racism to be systemic or institutionalized?
I mean, I would argue the opposite. Like, again, we have civil rights acts on top of civil rights acts, in addition to the 14th Amendment's Equal Protection Clause. 14th Amendment being written for the sole purpose of expanding and equalizing the rights of white people and black people. Furthermore, the 14th Amendment Equal Protection Clause echoes exactly what the Civil Rights Act says, right? You cannot be discriminated based on your inalienable character.
You can see them on the side, the effeminate, the women getting all emotional, doing stupid shit, acting like they shouldn't be having this conversation. You can see them. Look at them right there on the side. Filming, texting, already getting ready to start some bull crap. You can see they texting people, putting it in social media, getting right. They're hyping it up. They're the ones who did it. They hyped this shit up. So then they come down there and now everybody pissed because you got two Caucasians there trying to hold the conversation.
Characteristics like your race, your sex, your sexuality, etc. So,
But even though we have these laws, that doesn't stop it from happening. We still know that.
You're right, racism does happen still, even though there are laws that ban it. And I think that those laws are oftentimes used to enforce a culture of anti-racism in the United States. We actually cancel people for being racist all the time. But we have in the system, as far as the system goes, you can't stop people from being racist on an individual level, unfortunately. It happens in every country, on every continent, all around the world, and it has since the beginning of time. But what you can do is make it illegal to institutionalize it by saying, you can't allow you have to allow everybody to eat at your restaurant. You can't not admit people based on their color. You can't prioritize people based on their color, et cetera. And I would say getting rid of DEI works towards that objective.
So y'all had say make America great again. How do y'all feel that America is not great, and how do y'all feel that America can be great again? And when was it great?
Yeah, I would say that the most recent example of America being great was the first term of Donald Trump, and then we had 4 years of Joe Biden and chaos, and then Trump is president again. So this is his campaign hat for his lead up to his second term.
A few moments later.
Come on. Yo.
You better not. Look at him threaten him. Look at him. Look at this dude. Look at this little dude threatening him. Now he getting mocked. Look how big this dude is. If he want to fight, I believe the little dude may have he think he gangster, but this dude is huge. He may mock him. But there's security there or a police officer there that's looking like they're gonna allow them to fight. Like, why are you doing that? First off, was anything wrong with what they were saying? Did they say anything wrong or volatile or antagonistic or anything like that? Like purposely antagonistic or anything like that? I need to know. Did they say anything like that? Say discipline. He says fire starters on both sides. Fire starters on both sides. What side? Caucasians aren't doing that. They're trying to have a talk, yo. Since when can't you talk? Since when is talking starting the fire? If that's what you believe, then where the hell you think you going? If I can't talk to you about something that you disagree with, because you may lose your damn shit, and it may go to violence. What the hell is that? That's ridiculous. Again, that's feminine energy, man. If we can't have a conversation without you tripping out, flipping out.
You better not.
Okay. Bring the sign back. First off, these cats aren't Proud Boys. First off, they're not Proud Boys. So you're equating that they're just students. They're college students. They ain't Proud Boys. And even if they were, the Proud Boys don't be doing none of this shit. They don't be doing that. Show the videos where Proud Boys be doing this. Again, man, you gotta be able to have a conversation. Melanated people are way too goddamn emotional. And it's feminine, and it's growing up with a lot of feminine energy in the house. Just like that little kid. He said his parent came to pick him up. Promise you it was his mom. You got a dad in the house, you ain't going off on some kid like that because your dad probably beat your ass when you got back in the house. If you went off on two grown-ups at a concert like that. A man would beat the snot out. If it was one parent that came pick, if you only with your dad, you get your ass whooped. So I promise you that was a woman who was raising them. And all this feminine energy, this singular feminine energy that's raising these kids is turning them into bitches. No constitution. No intestinal fortitude. No mental fortitude. No spiritual fortitude. None of that. Just weak as fuck. Nobody can say nothing to you. Nobody can look at you wrong. What you looking at? That's bitch shit. And that's what this is.
You guys touch children, you guys fuck showing them the door.
Now, see how stupid they acting with that shit? What up? Promise you they're not acting like that. So this is over conscious civil discourse. Can we come to, we're trying to come to a higher understanding, a higher learning. Now, if that whack ass chick Sexy Red was on the, or Ugly Red was doing a concert, she was on campus, they'd be flipping out, right? If she's on there, oh, weird, all of the for degeneracy, we go crazy. We love that shit. But when somebody tries to come on and just spark some goddamn conscious debate, intellectual shit, no, we got to run that off. How the hell you think that make you look around to the rest of the world when you can't have a civil goddamn conversation, intellectual conversation? Because you're an emotional bitch. Straight up, man.
We walking them to the door, y'all. I don't even know how they got on campus. We're gonna figure that out, but I don't know. They need to get like a trespass, like penalty or something, because sending them off.
Tell him this that boy thought he was gonna come up like
Say good job, TSU.
Good job.
Good.
Yeah, so we're gonna talk about this school because I don't really think it's much to be proud of, to be honest with you.
So let me say this real quick. So about this school, they talking about all this. You bitch ass coming up to our school like trying to be like Charlie Kirk. Get your bitch ass out of here. Yeah, that's the nigga who not gonna graduate. Most of them niggas don't graduate at that school. That school has a 91% acceptance rate, meaning they let anybody in. They let the bum off the street in. If we can get funding from the government, they don't give a shit. They just want the funding. They want the money from the government. Tennessee State University. 91% acceptance rate, meaning you're not discriminating against. You don't give a shit if they dumb as fuck. You don't care. You dumb as fuck? Come on right here. We got you, man. You're dumb. Don't worry about that, man. Don't worry if you're dumb as shit. Don't worry. We got you. 91% acceptance rate, 15% graduation rate, 2023, 2024. 15% of the student, the 4-year student graduated. Only 15%, 90% accepted, 15% graduate. That's insane. And they're getting federal money. They're getting your tax dollars to not teach them kids nothing. To do this, to do what you just saw right here. That wasn't even the end of the video. They got in the car. The people wouldn't let them leave in the car. They started following the car, telling them to get out of here, but standing in front of the car, wouldn't let them leave. Running them down like some goddamn, they call the kids in the car like, this looks like the zombie apocalypse. Now, of course, they could have took it racist and shit. What you trying to say, black people look like zombies, motherfucker? But to them, that's probably what it looked like. It looked like a zombie apocalypse. It says Gorilla Sexy Red, Cardi B. Yep, all dumbing us down. Sex Red gonna be at Virginia State homecoming this week. See? They can have that degenerate bullshit at the schools, but when just some Caucasian people, because they don't look like you, tries to come and spark debate. And again, one of them cats grew up in a goddamn trailer. He grew up in a double wide trailer park. Nigga, that's not rich. He grew up broke as hell. But no, because he white, you gotta be racist. You racist. Melanated people are done for. I'm telling you, right? Melanated people are done for. Let me show you. Let me see if I can show the does he show the chart? Oh, there it is, right here. Look at this chart. Do you see that? So this is 23. So Tennessee State University, full-time freshman 4-year graduation rates. Again, here, 2023, 2024, 15%. All full-time freshmen or first-time full-time freshmen. Boom, 15%. That school should be shut down immediately. You're just stealing money from the government. You're not teaching them kids anything. Shown by the video. Them kids ain't learning shit. So, again, this melanated or black fatigue or whatever, this is going to become an epidemic. It's already an epidemic. It's going to become a fucking, what is that called? Not a virus. When the virus becomes like, it's a pandemic, but it's something else. It's called something else. But this is where melanated people are going. And it's sad to see that people who invented the conscious plural, invented knowledge, we are the lowest people on the totem pole indulging in it at the present time. All knowledge comes from all the melanated cultures, ancient cultures. But we have, right now, we are the least to indulge in the information. Outbreak, yeah, an outbreak, okay. That's the term too, but that's not an epidemic. Yeah, I think that's it. Epidemic. Thank you. That's the word. That's the word I was looking for. Yep. So, melanated people, melanated kids. I don't know what to tell you. Looking at that right there, the future looks bleak as hell. Last thing I got before I get out of here in nigga news, Serena Williams is getting backlash because she had a statue in her hotel room, a cotton statue, had a real cotton on it. And she got it, she put it on YouTube or Instagram talking shit about it. But then she had the urge, she started picking the cotton. She started picking the cotton off the statue. And she started getting backlash for picking the cotton off the statue. They're like, girl, how dare you go? You should have left that room and blah, 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 blah. In that damn hotel room and blah. How dare they put the cotton again? So again, weak and again, or low intestinal fortitude or no intestinal fortitude that you can't walk into a goddamn room with a cotton statue and immediately think that it's racist. Like you the only motherfuckers that ever picked cotton in the universe. See, this is dumb nigga shit. It's a fucking statue. You wear cotton on your body every goddamn day, but you got a problem with it being on a statue in the bedroom. This is stupid shit that keep niggas in nigga shit. Keep dumb melanated people in niggitude. That's what I call it. You are just trapped in niggitude. So not even understanding, this is again not doing your history. The first people to pick cotton in America, as far as slaves, were Caucasians, the indentured servants, Irish, and all the rest of them motherfuckers. Where is this shit? Right here. You see that? The Irish slaves, that's over here in America. Those indentured servants, also the British, that they sent over here from their jails. They told them that you can get out of jail if you go to the New World. So they brought them over here, made them sign indentured servant contracts, but didn't free them. I know most of you guys think indentured servant is different from a slave. It's not. It's the same goddamn thing. It's a contract slave. That's all it is. You still treat it like a goddamn slave. You're just a contract slave that's supposed to have a term on your slavery. However, they kept adding term years to the contract. If you did something like this, oh, gotta add 3 more years to the contract. If you did something over here that was wrong, oh, shit, gotta add 5 more years to your shit. So most of them died as indentured servants. They didn't get out of the contract. And they picked cotton before melanated people. That's in the documentary 40 Acres and the Fool. I talk about that. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. You should have watched it already. My documentary is mine. 40 Acres and the Fool. Go look it up on my channel. I break down the whole history of slavery, especially in America. Now, Caucasian people were the first slaves, which shits on that ADOS shit, that American descendants of slave shit, because if you're going to get money, then the white people got to get it first, because they were slaves. But going back to Serena Williams and the fact that all these people were giving her shit because she's picking cotton. All these people giving her shit because she's picking cotton. She had the urge to pick the cotton off the goddamn statue in the hotel. This is some bullshit. This is straight shit. It says, we don't know what security guard said. Oh, in that moment. All right. I don't know what y'all talking about at this point. What y'all in here talking about? I'm trying to get somebody to comment on what we do. Bro, you were 3 of 5. Bro, you were 3 of 5. What? You were 3/5 of a man Real Nagas tripping. No, you tripping. You think that you were 3/5 of a man, boy? You new to the channel, huh? You knew that you don't know. Do you know what the Constitution? Do you know how to read the Constitution? Do you? Because if you don't, then you don't need to be leaving comments. Because if you don't know the law, and if you don't know legalese, then you don't know what that term meant. 3/5 of a human. You weren't 3/5 of a human. You were 3/5 of what was recognized as a person who got put into the status, not the status, but what is it called? The census. That was for the census, so they can get representatives in Congress. That's why you were termed 3. They didn't think of you as 3/5 of a person. They just didn't want you to get any representation. They used you for representation, meaning the population of you was used to get representation for the states in Congress. However, they wouldn't allow the slaves to have any representation. So that's why they termed you as 3/5 of a person, so that you wouldn't be represented in Congress. However, the populace, the total population of slaves was used to gain representation in Congress for the states. That's what 3/5 of a person meant. They didn't mean that you were actually 3/5 of a person. Come on, bro. You got to do some damn research. This is what I'm talking about. Stop being surface research people. God damn, y'all got to dive deep, man. Pick up a goddamn Constitution. Don't just read 2 pages of it. Learn if you're going to quote the Constitution, read it. If you're going to quote the Constitution, read that motherfucker through and through, back and forth, up and down. Know what it say. Because I know you don't. And I know most of the people in here don't. But let me show you something. This is my Constitution. Before you sit up here and try to tell me what the hell I'm talking about. You see this? I got this from the United States government, Congress, the Library of Congress, printing house. This is my Constitution. So y'all need to get out there and start learning your shit. Because if you don't, Trump coming for you. He done told y'all that. Get out there and learn your...
Have you ever had an unwanted police encounter? Have you or your loved ones been terrified at a police stop and did not know what to do? Have you witnessed someone else's rights being violated at a police stop and wished you knew what to do? Well, wonder no more. You are not alone. At Know Your Rights Foundation, we teach our members to know police stop laws. Police are banking on your ignorance of the laws and will use that against you. Knowing the laws allows you to get home safely from a routine traffic stop that could spiral out of control because of lack of education. If your constitutional rights are violated, we educate you on how to get restitution from police officers and/or the city. Join us in this detrimental cause by contacting KYRF.org. Sign up today.
Most of you don't even know that the Constitution was also co-written by the Aboriginals. Do y'all know that? Nope, I bet you didn't. Where do you think they understood? Where do you think they got that from? They got it from the Great Law of Peace. It was co-written by Aboriginals, which is why some Aboriginals were not allowed, but that's the wrong term. But they merged. They had partnerships, but they were in the government. Some Aboriginals were in the American government. And you don't know the preamble. That part is in the preamble. The preamble of the Constitution lets you know, if you understand how to read it, that the Aboriginals allowed the colonists to be over here. They gave them the privilege, not rights, the privilege to be over here. Because the privilege can be taken away. But they gave them the privilege to be over here and work the land. And then pass that privilege down in inheritance. So you got to go look up the word common. Because first of all, you need to read the preamble. But then go look up the word common. Because that's the most important word in the preamble. So just gave you a little jewel right there. If you don't know, you don't know. But again, all of this stuff, law is way more intricate than you know. If you don't know legalese, you don't know what it's saying. If you don't look up the words in the Constitution and the Black Law Dictionary, you don't know what it's saying. And then a lot of times, even if you don't look that up further in law cases and stuff like that, you still don't know what it's saying. Don't be surface information people. You got to dig deeper. This is why Caucasian people are able to clown you. In the clown, they talk shit about people in the conscious world because most people in the conscious world are surface information people. You ain't diving deep. You ain't doing extra study. You ain't got 55 books out. You're not looking up the definition of this word and the definition of that term and the definition of that term. This is why Billy Carson can be taken down by somebody like Billy Huff or whatever his name is, whatever that dude Huff name was, the Caucasian dude, because that's what he does. He studies his ass off that one topic. If you ask him about something else, then he'd probably get destroyed. But that one thing, he does that shit. He studies that through and through. Whereas you saw that Billy didn't. He's a surface information dude. And eventually, if you're a surface information person, you're going to get exposed. That's just how that is. So that's all I can say for that one. But make sure you go out and support.
What if the real superpower was already inside you? The Great Book of Melanin Research reveals 130 years of scientific studies conducted by governments around the world on you. This isn't fiction. It's real research on melanin uncovering its superconductive, photoconductive, cell-protective, and DNA shielding abilities. Yeah, they've known for over a century. Why don't you? Order now and get the exclusive Police Stop Law Package free. That's the Know Your Rights Manual, Constitutional Rights Card, Qualified Immunity Notice and Card, Police Stop Flashcards Volume 1 and 2, the Public Official Bonds Book. Learn how to hold them personally accountable. This is power in your hands, biological and legal. They studied you. Now you study them. Click the link. Get the truth. Get protected. The Great Book of Melanin Research. It's time you knew what they know.
It only takes one moment, one wrong move, one unexpected stop. When life gets real, know what to do, know what to say. Join KYRF.org today.
Wow! Know your rights!
Know your rights. And just because I disagree with somebody doesn't mean they're a fool. They may not have all the information I have. I've been studying a long time, and I have a photographic memory. So the information that's up here, most people don't have. I've forgotten more information than most people learn their whole lifetime. So I don't trip on people for not having the same information as me. However, though, just don't think that the information that you have is all of that. You can't just be like, I know what it is. Again, I don't act like that. Any information I give you, I tell you, look it up. Don't believe me. Don't believe nothing I tell you. And you understand? I'm saying it again. Don't believe shit I tell you in here. Go look up everything I tell you for yourself, because information is not yours until you make it yours. It's only something that you were told until you go use it. Look it up for yourself, seen it, make it firsthand, and then utilize the information. That's the only way you make it yours. So again, I don't trip on people because they don't have the same information as me. But I just try to see if we can come to an understanding and break it down. But if I can give you a better understanding of some stuff that you're not really versed on, then I'll try to do that. And if you can do that for me, great. I'll do that too. But the Constitution, law, bro, don't even try to. That's just like Billy Huff, or the Huff dude was like that on Billy Carson. I'm the dude with the law and government. I'm gonna do like that with a lot of stuff. Martial arts, movies. I'm a master of a lot of these things, but especially the law. So that's where you will fail trying to battle me on that. But that's it, y'all. I'm hungry as hell. Thank you guys for showing up on this Sunday. It was almost no live stream today. My notes got wiped out last night for this whole damn day. I had to spend all night redoing my notes, my live stream notes. Somehow it got hacked or something like that. My whole thing, everything I'd been working on for all week, the notes I'd been taking all week got wiped out. So I wasn't going to do this shit today. But stuck it out last night, redid everything, found the videos. So boom, we were able to do it. So thank you for showing up. Appreciate y'all. Had a little mic mic mishap at the beginning. You know, he says, what's the last time you heard Charlie Kirk or anyone like him mention the Native contributions to the Constitution? How is this relevant in the argument of how it's interpreted? I don't know what that is. Y'all must be arguing about something else in there. So I don't know what that is. A white person, what is that? OCE told me. I don't know what that is. And told me that black people are the only racist and judge from it. Each of you are black. Then, god damn, y'all need to learn how to. Can y'all learn how to write? From it, each of you and black then, that white person was right out of you. Look at your comment. I don't know, guys. You got to rewrite that one. Try to. You see me? I tried to stick it out. You saw that. But you got to rewrite that. But appreciate you guys. Thank all my moderators for hooking it up. Thank you, everybody, who hit the Cash App. You can still hit the Cash App while we're not on live. But appreciate you guys for all your donations. I'm out of here. I'm hungry as hell. Peace.